of our guest speakers around, and I promise you that we'll have a swell time. Thank you for coming. Please, can you clap your hands together for yourselves? Savior Jesus Christ, I want to welcome you to Talent Acceleration 2025, brought to you by A Plus Club 360. I want to say thank you for coming, and we are very glad to have you join with us today. My name is Momodu Ininoa. I'm popularly known as Dr. KBK. By the grace of God, I'm the founder and
Women's and Youth
CRO
Ambassador,
of
Great
A Plus
Fame
Club
Awards
360.
2018.
About A Plus Club, most of you are hearing about this organization for the first time. We've been around for a couple of months, for a couple of years, and our vision is basically about discovering and developing talents. I believe that God is a God of a plan and a God of purpose. Sarah, can I have the slides for About A Plus Club? I believe that God is a God of a plan and a God of a purpose. For whatever God gives to you, He gives for a plan and a purpose. Every one of us here as creatives have been blessed by God. In the book of Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The first time we heard about God and the first time God was introduced, He was introduced as a creator. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, full stop. Then in verse 26, God said, let us now make man in our own image and after our likeness. That means let's make man to look like us and to function like us. And God created man. So if you were created in the image and after the likeness to look like God and to function like us, that makes you a creator also. Because in verse 1, it tells you that God created. That means you are also a creator. That informs the reason why we are doing what we are doing. So I refer to you all as creatives that has the ability to create just like God. And if you follow the narrative in the book of Genesis chapter 1 up to verse 2, verse 3 and thereabout, you see that God brought Adam into the garden and gave Adam the ability to manage, to have dominion, and to cultivate the earth. Adam named the animals. Hope you know. What you call mosquito was named by Adam. Dog, lion, sheep, hyena. It wasn't God that was naming the animals. God did his part, rested, and gave Adam the authority, not just the ability to now manage effectively according to the way he wanted to do that. So as creatives, you are on earth for a purpose. A Plus Club seeks to help you find the purpose for your talents. You have been blessed by God with an ability, a gift, or a skill. What we do at A Plus Club is to help you define the purpose for your talents. Because talent is not a hobby. Talent is a career. Talent is also a purpose. So I do not believe in hobbies. I do not believe that, somebody say, what are my hobbies? Singing, dancing, acting, writing. I don't believe that. I believe that whatever God has given to you, like I said, it gives for a purpose and a plan. So you have to discover that purpose so that you can effectively put that talent to use. Talent is also a tool. You are the workman. The reason why you need to convert your talent to effective skills, because as a workman, you need to develop your skill to be able to achieve your purpose skillfully and effectively. So talent is not the focus, because it's just like if you are the carpenter, talent is the hammer in your hand to effectively deliver your purpose. So you must know exactly how to wield that hammer to be able to achieve the goal that is set by the Creator. Are you following the gist? So what then is A Plus Club about? My slide, please. A Plus Club 360 is a creative community dedicated to discovering, developing, and deploying talents to influence and impact systems as change agents. Our goal is simple. You are a creative person. You have been blessed by God with abilities or gifts or talents. Our goal is to help you discover or identify yourself as an agent of change here on earth, using your skills and your talents. So that comes with leadership development. That comes with not just skill development. It also comes with human capital development. Our vision is simple: to discover, to develop, and to deploy creatives to influence. So mark that word, influence. Number 2, to impact systems as change agents. So there are key things you must understand. First of all, you are a creative, so you must discover the purpose, develop your skill. Then you are deployed, you are sent. If we send you as an artist from our record label, we send you as a writer, as a public speaker, whatever you do, your job is to go into the systems and influence it. I'm a Christian. The Bible says, go into the world and preach the gospel. What it simply means is go into your systems and influence it. Please, I want to recognize Dr. Yua Aledesholu in our midst. And we also have Pastor Michael Morigwe. Welcome, sir. Please, can you welcome them, sir? They will probably introduce later. Welcome, sir. So the purpose is to send you into the system. So if Jesus says go into the world and preach the gospel, it means go into your systems and influence it. The word is, the earth is a place, the word is a system. So you need to understand the systems that you have been called to influence. I'm a talent developer, I'm a talent scout. I have a passion for developing or discovering people with abilities. That's my system. And my system and my job in that system is to influence people like you to be able to influence others so that we can get it right. Back to the slide, please. Our mission, purpose, definition, career fulfillment. So define the purpose, fulfilling your career becomes possible. It's not the reverse. First of all, you have to be able to define the purpose for your talent, then pursue a fulfilling career. We can all make money with our gifts. We'll talk about that later. Philosophy, talent is not a hobby. It is a tool. Next slide. What are our core values at A Plus Club 360? Service to God, impacting people, and success in your career. These are the three things that binds or that informs why we exist as an organization. We believe that your talent, first of all, is to serve God. God is the giver of gifts, like I said before. Then you must intentionally impact people. You cannot claim that you have abilities and you have talents, and you're not looking for people that you have been sent to impact. Then, of course, you must find and learn the proper skill for how to become successful in in the area of talent that you have. These are the things we're discussing today. What's our focus area? Talent discovery, career development, leadership deployment. As an influencer, your job is to go back into that system as a leader. There's a young girl somewhere that is dressing like Rihanna. That's influence, Abi. There's one young boy that is trying to mimic 50 Cent. That's what leadership is all about. You don't need to acknowledge it. You don't even need to be aware of it. By default, the moment you start expressing yourself in diverse gifts, you are already in the position of leadership. You are influencing people knowingly or unknowingly. So it's our job to make sure you understand that you need to be very tactical and informed about how to lead. Thank you. Please bring back the slide. Then at the Plus Club, we have major events for the year. Mic Check is our monthly event. We do it virtually now. What Mic Check helps us to do, we have an open mic segment where we create a segment to discover new talents every month. Whatever gift you have, if you want to do a spoken word, you're writing a book, you have a new fashion idea, you're a makeup artist, we have the opportunity for you to be able to unveil your idea at Mic Check. It's also another avenue for us to hang out with people like you, whether in a virtual space or physical space. We do masterclass training sections where we discuss topics for the month. We'll be announcing the various Mic Check for September, October, November later. Then we do Dunamis, which is a worship outreach program that we do in local community churches. Then we have Love Note. Love Note took place last Friday. Love Note holds every August 22nd, which happens to be my birthday. What we do with Love Note is that we do outreaches to where we find vulnerable people and needy people, whether hospitals, IDPs, the prisons, or the orphanage home. So we went to Egosa Orphanage Home on Friday, and we had a lovely time with the children. Then we do Praise Zood every December. We go out to the streets where we find young people who are not serving God, who are not living the life that they deserve or they should live, and we reach out to them. Of course, our Creative Connect conference, this is one of our Creative Connect conference, where we sit down like this to interact. So if you look at the rundown about us, we are an outreach-based community organization. We believe that when God gives you a gift, the first thing you do is to serve God and impact people. So, and our impact areas is basically to reach out to people wherever they are. That the most unlikely alternative places that people may not really go to, that's where we reach out and we do what we do. Next slide, please. Okay. So I want to welcome you one more time. I believe that if you have questions concerning A Plus Club and what we do and who we are, we'll be available to talk with you after now. God bless you. Thank you very much. I will be having a performing arts next. Just enjoy your time. God bless you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, you're welcome once again. So, to welcome our first intro artist, Inod Water.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay, yeah, you can. Good evening. I'm going to be doing one song today. The name of the song is A Change is Gonna Come. Very simple song. I was born by the river. Okay, we'll do that again. Can we get some energy in this place? Hi, guys. How are you doing? Hi, guys. I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, and just like a river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long, long time coming, but I know change gonna come. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. 'Cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long, long time coming, but I know change. I go to the movies and I go downtown. Somebody keep on telling me no, don't hang around. It's been a long, 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 long change gonna come. Then I go to my brother, and I tell him, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me down, back down on my knees. Oh, couldn't last for long. Now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know change. It's been a long time coming, but I know change, change gonna come. Thank you.
Pastor Mike Omorigbe is a dynamic leader, seasoned educationist, accomplished actor, and visionary mentor whose influence has shaped countless students and emerging leaders across Benin City and Edo State. As the proprietor of Standard Schools, he has built a legacy of academic excellence, character development, and purpose-driven education, inspiring young minds to pursue both knowledge and integrity. A man of remarkable humility and depth, Pastor Omorigbe's impact extends beyond the classroom. He is a gifted cinematographer and celebrated Nollywood actor, best known for his powerful portrayal of Oba Ovonramwen Nubaisi in the internationally acclaimed historical epic Invasion 1897. The film, directed by Lancelot Odua Imasuen, vividly reenacts the 1897 British invasion of the Benin Kingdom and has been showcased at prestigious platforms including the Pan-African Film and Arts Festival in Los Angeles. Balancing his roles as a husband, father, teacher, and creative, Pastor Omorigbe embodies the fusion of leadership, artistry, and service. His wealth of knowledge, coupled with a passion for nurturing talent, makes him an invaluable voice at the Talent Acceleration Conference 2025, where he will inspire attendees to harness their gifts for lasting impact. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome Pastor Mike Omorigbe.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Hope you are happy to be here. Okay, I want to thank you for joining us in this session. And we're talking about talent. We're talking about talent. It says talent to treasure. And what we're supposed to be talking about here is divided into different aspects. And I'm here to focus on talent as service. But before I go into that directly, I'd like to drop a few statements. I was, conferring with the chief convener, and I discovered that there are probably some things I need to say that may not be covered by the other speakers. And so I want to talk about that. What's a talent in the first place? We would say it's a natural aptitude, is a skill, is a spiritual gifting. That's what a talent is. And one of the things you should understand about talent is that, like he said, talent to treasure is going to need to be converted. Talent is never useful in its raw form. has to be converted. And the process of conversion is actually the process of adding value to it so that it benefits other people. And that's why many times you are told that talent is not enough. You know, I'm a pastor, so don't mind me when I go Bible. I believe that's 2 Peter. It says, add to your faith virtue. Same thing, add to your talent certain things. And some of the things you need to add to your talent, talent is something that needs to, number one, you need to discover it. I heard him talking about that. We help people discover this talent. You need to discover it so you can use it. You need to understand that you can discover by self-discovery. You can discover by auditions, experimentation, and all of that. You need to know that talent is a seed. It benefits nobody in its raw form. It has to be gleaned, then it has to be processed, and it has to become something useful. You need to know that you need to invest in talent. You need to invest in it. Of course, it follows naturally that if talent is a seed, if you do not invest in it and add to it what needs to be added to it, it will not be of benefit to other people. Generally speaking, that's why if you have a talent, perhaps one of the first few things you should do is to generate content. Generate content. And that's why our world has gradually moved into a place where everybody can be a broadcaster from his home. You need to generate content. And if you notice what goes around much of the time now, a lot of the content will come out free, which is what should let you know that if the first thing you're thinking about talent is how to make money from it, you have a problem. Because, somebody said you can't be without a job if you are willing to work without being paid. But trust me, when you work without being paid, very soon you will be paid. And you need to understand it. In life, I have noticed that people who put money first hit the rocks very fast. Now, does it mean money is not important? It's important. It's a store of value. It's exchange for value. But if that's what comes first when you think of your talent, if that's what comes first when you think of your talent, there's going to be a problem. There's going to be a problem. That's why most of the people who benefit from their talent today, you will notice that at some point in their lives, they either gave the talent out free of charge or they used it to serve at some point. And so now they are getting benefit, financial and all kinds of benefits from it. Do you understand what I'm saying? I think the last thing I want to say about talent generally is that talent has phases. Phases. You need to understand that. Talent has phases. I've been in, not deeply now, but I've been in production, acting in particular, writing. I'm a teacher, I'm a school administrator, I'm a pastor, and all of that. And I have discovered that if you want to jump phases in the evolution of your talent, you run into trouble. There are phases, there are stages. There is a time when the talent will not be beneficial in the sense of being beneficial. There is a time when the talent is not in its optimum point and therefore needs to be worked on. And so you need to understand the phases of talent, depending on the field that you are into. Now, these are just general statements I wanted to make about it. But we're supposed to be focused here on talent is service. And I want to use two scriptures to build that. Matthew 25:14. Matthew 25:14. We all know the story of the talent, the parable of the talent. Jesus was the one speaking in 14 when he talked about the fact that there was a man who was going on a long journey, and then he called 3 persons, gave one 5 talents, gave one 3 talents, I believe, and gave the other one 1 talent. And then he said, do something with this until I come back. And then he went on his journey. And when he returned, he met the man who had 5 talents, who had doubled the talents, meaning that he had passed through the things we've been talking about. He had taken time out to develop the talent until it became productive. And then he was able to multiply the talent. And then the one who came to the master and said, oh, I was able to do this. And the master said, oh, wonderful, wonderful, you did great. And then went to the fellow who he gave 2, and that one said 3, and said, yeah, I was able to double my own too. I did something to it. I keep slowing down. If other people that are going to speak on this, perhaps if he's talking about the process of, evolution of talent, you would understand that when he says he was able to double it, don't imagine that he kept it on the shelf and it became double. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So, Bible is a very abridged storytelling document, isn't it? You see, Bible will tell you, and he left and he came to. And you get the feeling that would mean that the moment God called me to do something, almost immediately, I'm going to get into it immediately. Because the Bible likes saying, and he left and he came into. But you see, the journey, the timeline is a critical one, is a crucial one. And many times the Bible does not record those details. And so if you're not careful, you're beginning to interpret the Bible in a pattern that is not correct. You would think that these things are magic. But the truth is, there is a process. So when he said he increased it, he did increase. Double it. And so was able to produce 3 others. And then here comes the gentleman, the guy we love, who said, oh, is it possible for us to have the scripture? It's not. Is it possible for us to have it? If it is, let's have just that, please. He said, oh, I like the part, the part that I'm going to dwell on a little bit is a part where he attempted to describe something he did not know. And that was where his problem was. Matthew 25. He describes something he did not understand. He said to Jesus, I know you are a hard man, reaping where you did not sow. And so I decided that I will just keep it. When you come, I'll give you your property. The gentleman made at least 4 wrong assumptions about a talent. And I want to give them to you. We can't get the scripture, but it's okay. I want to give them to you. The first assumption he made about talent was that talent gives you instant gratification. No, it doesn't. That was an assumption. That was a wrong assumption. If he had been in the lives of the other 2 people who were able to double their talents, he would have discovered the issue or the principle of process, isn't it? Talent won't give you instant gratification. It will not. That was the first error. The second error he made was that by trading with the talent, he was going to benefit God, the master. And he said, your own is too much. You reap where you didn't sow. You've given me this talent, and I'll work with it and double it, and then you just want to. Why do you like to use people? I tell people all the time, never complain they used me. It's because you're useful. I mean, nobody uses nonsense. So if I was used well, check very well. You must have had some value. That's why you could have been used. Do you understand what I'm saying? So look, that's a wrong assumption. He thought he was going to profit only God. But you see, it's not possible for you to develop a talent, build a talent, turn it into what's profitable, and only God will profit from it. You're going to profit from it. You will benefit from it. If you employed people, persons are going to benefit from it. So when you put in the energy, okay, when you put in it's not there yet. Get to the place where he was rebuking Jesus. So when you put in the effort, the energy to develop, to hone your talent, to build it and turn it into that which is beneficial, you're going to find out that at the end of the day, like we say in management circles, there is a value chain. And on that value chain, there are a number of people benefiting. So if you ever go to the scripture that says Jesus despised the shame and this, looking onto, looking to the glory, if you ever get to the place where you understand, continue to where he said, You know, if you ever get to the place where he said he forgot the shame and he looked at the reward, never imagine that that reward is for him. Just look at Jesus, for example. Suffered on the cross, punished, dealt with. Now he's seated at the right hand of the Father, isn't it? But can I ask you a question? Is he the only person who benefited from that? The answer is no. You are a believer today because his talent was developed. Do you understand what I'm saying? You are a believer, you're a Christian today, you are protected, you have the hope of a new body. When he reveals himself and all of that, you have all of that opportunity simply because somebody decided to go through what needed to be gone through. A whole lot of times when you have a talent, there is a going through you need to go through, and that going through brings that talent you have to a place where it becomes beneficial. But don't think that it is God alone or the giver of the talent that is going to benefit from it, even if he does benefit from it. If you're singing gospel, for example, and you are, it's not just gospel, if you're working in the medical field, for example, if you're doing music, for example, whatever it is you're doing that benefits mankind, at the end of the day, it's going to benefit you. Okay? The third assumption, which is an error, is that you can develop your talent without a risk element. There's always a risk element. You can't rule that. He said, go back. He said, I knew you are a hard man, so I kept it to so you don't come. If I go and use it now, try to develop it, and I misplace it, or something goes wrong in the process, and you will come and arrest me, and no. But he didn't understand that if he ever did try it, and for any reason, which is not possible, he lost that talent because in the process of trying to turn it into something better, the master would not have rebuked him. The master would have said, at least you tried to do something. So taking no risk simply means that you don't want to achieve anything. There is a risk factor, there is a risk factor. And that risk factor, he did not understand that there's always a risk involved in developing your talent. People are going to mock you. People are going to laugh at you. You're going to do what they call, opportunity cost, the foregone alternative. You're going to have to trade in your time. You're going to have to trade in your money. You're going to have to trade in perhaps some other things. Some people may have to quit an 8 to 9 job or whatever. It's not like you have to always do that, but sometimes it gets to a point where you discover that, no, this thing is clashing now, so I need to focus. And then you do that, and you probably go hungry a little bit for the time during which you want to, when you are in the dark, when you have to bring out the thing that is going to wow everybody. Now, at that point, there is a risk factor. There's a risk factor. It's never going to happen that talent is going to become what it should be without passing through a risk factor. This gentleman made a wrong assumption, and on the basis of that, he was rebuked. Okay. The last terrible assumption this man made was that a talent remains the same when it is not developed. When the man gave the talent back to Jesus and said, to the master and said, take your talent, what he didn't know is that the talent had depreciated. So he wasn't giving back to the master what the master gave to him. He was giving to the master something of less value. But he just felt, and that's why the master said, what's wrong with you? If you know I'm a hard man, put it into, save it somewhere, or put it where it's invested, and so it can give me something. Because there is a time value added, and that time value cannot be recovered. Are you listening to what I'm saying? And that's why if you want to employ somebody who has 2 people who have the same qualification, and one says, I've been working for 5 years, the other one is working for 1 year, there's likely going to be a salary difference. What's the salary difference? Time value of money. Time value of money, the value that he had gathered before this point. So these are four wrong assumptions that he made. Now, what's the benefit of a treasure of a talent by the time it begins to get functional? Listen very attentively. We're not going to have the time for it, but I like the story of Joseph to come in here to help us. I'm going to come back to this Matthew 14, very soon. I'm kind of. I hope you got the 4 things I mentioned. You got them? You got them? Give me some support. You got them? Okay, thank you. All right, so talent is a treasure in a seed, if you will understand. And the benefits of talents, of every talent, when it gets developed, would be, number 1, You grow and develop when you're trying to develop a talent. You grow and develop. What are the growths you experience? You experience patience. You experience some form of dependence on God. Because you know the raw form of this and the intangibility of your talent. Something has to bring it together. There has to be a metamorphosis that brings it into some level of tangibility. And for you to bring in, Bible always says, those that see the invisible, they are going to do the impossible. For you to be able to bring that into tangibility where it benefits somebody, you will have to certainly be disciplined. And if you become disciplined, that's one more disciplined human being on earth, therefore making society better. Is it not true? So the essence of the talent is not, so I take this talent, I know how to sing now, I can sing very well, I wow everybody. You're going to live with people. You go for rehearsals. You're time conscious. You're doing this, you're doing that. People are looking at you. Your whole life is changing, is turning around. Why is it turning around and changing? Because you see, you're going somewhere. There is a certain the kind of life you're living now because of what you carry and because of what you want to achieve. I mean, I've never seen any pregnant woman jumping up and down and tumbling everywhere. She has to comport herself. She has to be careful because of the seed that she carries. Now, there's going to be a change in behavior. A young lady would behave differently from the way she behaves when she's pregnant. Are you following? So in bringing the seed into fruition, there'll be a change in behavior. So one of the benefits of talent is that it is supposed to change people. And so when you are teaching people about their talent, be concerned about the kind of changes that are taking place in them in terms of discipline, in terms of effort. Another thing you notice is that talent is supposed to benefit other people financially. You get talented, you turn it into a blessing, you're not going to eat it alone. That's the truth of the matter. Talent is going to benefit people. Think about all the musicians. They have to have accountants. They have to have a driver. Somebody has to drive them. They have to, a banker will handle their stuff. Am I making sense here? Am I making sense? So what I said before about the value chain is so critical that each talent you try to develop, never think of it selfishly as yourself alone. Think of the fact or realize the fact that at the end of the day, if you do not develop this talent and if you do not work on it, there is a long list of people that are going to suffer as a result of that. And I think the best example is the story of Joseph. That's the best example, the story of Joseph. It's the best example you can have, the story of Joseph. Joseph had a talent. Somewhere along the line, that talent began to get developed and developed and developed. Somewhere along the line, he kept himself according to certain needed principles for that talent to become what it should be. And guess what? I think it's Genesis 45, thereabout, he tells us clearly that I was sent to Egypt for the preservation of the nation. Egypt had about 1.5 million people. And here comes a man whose talent had the capacity of saving lives. Well, 70 of them came in from Israel or from wherever, and then they came in. But he shone through with what was in him and was able to organize a whole nation as a prime minister. Because when Pharaoh said, look, let me tell you something. I am only at the level of the throne will I be senior to you. But in everything that happens in this nation, you are the person that is in charge. Now, the implication of that, if you understand government and governance, is that he was a prime minister. Prime minister, president. So as prime minister, he was in charge. But that's not the most important thing. We look at it and say, Joseph moved from rags to riches. We look at it and say he was a nobody, he became a somebody. We look at him many times and said, he was able to become a king or a prime minister when people thought he was going to die. He didn't die, he did all of those things. Beautiful. But see what some people don't remember. It can be said that a whole nation survived. Why? Because a man used his talent. A whole nation, a whole family survived. Why? Because he used his talent. When his people were going to die, no food to eat, they were coming all the way to come and buy, stuff with the money they had. Joseph is ready. has abundance because of his talent. They didn't just come, they got their own side of a nation that they were not a part of. All because somebody stood in the place of talent, utilized that talent effectively, and it benefited so many people. So there's a value chain, and you need to always be conscious of that. You know, Jesse Maxwell, leadership teacher, his best definition of success, he says success is identifying your purpose, growing in fulfilling the purpose, and then sowing seeds that benefit others. Sowing seeds that benefit others. Because if you identify your purpose, you grow in the purpose, and you are able to achieve what you want to achieve, and you do not sow seeds that benefit other people, we can assume that you're actually a failure. So this is what it is. Your talent is given because you need to serve. Your talent is given because you need to make impact in your world. And no matter what is going to cost you to bring out that talent, you should always think of the service you are going to render with the talent, and think of the benefits that men are going to get from that talent, and think of the fact that somebody's life somewhere depends on this talent. And think of the fact that a whole generation could become more productive or less productive depending on what you do with your talent. When you think of that, then it will inspire you to put in more energy in ensuring that you evolve in the use of that, your talent, and then you see to people benefiting. Some people are going to benefit from your talent. Some people are going to get a lot from your talent, earn from your talent, enjoy your talent without even knowing you. Without even knowing you. There's a gentleman called, I can't remember his name now. It was in the U.S. Navy. It was in the U.S. Air Force. Did a lot of flights during the Vietnamese War, you know, all of that. One day, he was shot, his plane was shot, and he had to eject out of the fighter jet, and his parachute was in place. And so he ejected, was able to land. I think he was arrested, he was captured or something like that. Okay, so that ended, and one day after post-military era or post-war era, he's in a restaurant eating, and somebody comes and greets him very familiarly. And he greets him back and says, I'm not sure I know you, but, you know. And the man smiles and gives this pilot, this Air Force pilot, a profile of his life. You were the this, that did this, that did that, that did that, that did that. You fought, you flew 35 times for the U.S. Army. You were discharged by so and so. How come you know me so well? And he made this very popular, now renowned statement. He said, I packed your parachute. Did you get that? Did you get it? Did you get it? You didn't? You didn't? Okay, so let me say it again. My time is running. It's gone. Let me say it again. Here is this U.S. pilot, Air Force pilot, who is very good, very renowned, very celebrated, very well known. He flies for the U.S. during the Vietnamese War over 35 times, successful attacks and all of that. And then one day, his aircraft is hit, and he has to parachute out of his plane, which he does, so he doesn't die. And he was captured, released a few years later, but he didn't die. If the parachute had not worked or had not been there, he would be dead. And so he comes out, he's discharged from the army, and then he's, all live and all of that. And one day he's in the restaurant and he's eating, and a young man comes to him and greets him familiarly, and he looks at him, I don't know this guy. And the guy tells him, I know so much about you, sir. You are at this, you flew flights at this, you did this, you are this, you're that, you're that. And the pilot asked him, how come you know me so much and I don't know you? Well, there's no way the pilot would have known him, because at the time the gentleman was functioning in the Air Force, he was functioning at a very low level of work, which is not seen by everybody. You understand what I'm saying? But he was meticulous doing what he was doing. He was faithful doing what he was doing. And so all the gentleman told the pilot was, oh, you wouldn't know me, sir. I packed your parachute. Meaning the plane you flew that you used to fight on that day, that you were hit, that you had to parachute out, and you remained alive, I packed it. I put it inside the plane. If I had forgotten, you're a dead man. Now, that assignment looks so insignificant, but it saved somebody's life. The person whose life it saved did not even know who packed it. It's the same thing that happens when you develop talent. You're there spreading things, and you're there satisfying people and blessing people and changing lives of persons that may never know you. But the passion with which you prepare for that talent to be evolved and to be developed and to be useful should be as a result of that person you may never meet who will need the talent that you are using. And that's why it became a popular statement, I packed your parachute. In other words, I am willing to do what doesn't look so important or relevant because everything could depend on it at some point. So whatever you do in terms of talent, whatever the talent is, I know what you may enjoy about a talent is, I want to become this, I want to become that. You know, when I do this, I'm going to make money, I'm going to do that. But don't forget, there is a value chain when it comes to talent. And don't forget that there is this person that is likely going to benefit from this talent if you are faithful at what you do, not because you even know the person, but because you were sent to preserve a people, like Joseph was sent to preserve a people. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Come on, appreciate Pastor Michael Murray. Appreciate him, please. I'm a recipient of Pastor Michael Murray's benevolence, leadership, and his mentorship. Yes, me. Yes. I met Pastor Mike, I remember very well, like it was yesterday. I met you first at Nosan Franca's studio. So both of you were talking. I didn't know you, I didn't know what you were doing. But I heard that you do video editing. Long story short, this was I was still finding my part in the industry. Yes, I was just a skilled, talented, vibrant young man. But I was full of dreams. I was full of ideas of how to start up a company in the entertainment industry. And I went to him. This was 2001, 2002, thereabout. I went to him and I said, sir, can I get a space in your office to set up a studio, audio studio? And he said, yes. Just like that. He didn't know me from Adam. We didn't have a relationship. I just went and said, this is my proposal. You do video already. I want to set up an audio studio in your space. And he said, yes. And that's how my journey started. I thought you would clap. If you hear something good, I appreciate it now. That's not the end, though. Number 2, I was producing my wife's music. We didn't have money to. Those days it was cassette we were releasing. And I went to him and said, sir, I need money. I want to release like 500, 1,000 cassettes. And he said, yes. You're not clapping. You don't understand. There are some people you meet. Everything he taught here and more is the life that he lives, is what he exemplifies. There are some people you will meet, what you call destiny helpers. Now, before I met him, I've had proposals, spirit-binded proposals. I will go around in this town. I will do presentation. I will do pitches in this GRA. Mentors will be inviting me. I will talk and talk. At the end, they say, oh, man, lovely. That's the end. We'll get back to you. Now, I'm meeting a man that will make a request once, and he will tell you yes, and you don't understand what I mean. He sent his staff with me. Those days, there were no cashless policy. There were no ATM cards or transfers. So you have to go to the bank to withdraw from the counter. He sent his staff with me to Akpava branch of the bank. Then they gave me the cash to invest in my wife's music. Please appreciate him for me. Can I go on and on? I have plenty of testimonies, so if you want to share Pastor Michael Merrick's testimony, they're too plenty. Do you understand? I've been blessed directly and indirectly. Standard schools, they organize annually what you call prayer session. How many of you have heard of prayer session? I've attended once or twice. he gave me an opportunity to speak in one of them. That I never sabi the matter. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you, sir. God bless you. We'll have more time to interact. I also want to acknowledge the presence of my director, Reverend Osagiato Izebigi. Can you please appreciate him for me? He's one of our sponsors tonight, too. Also known as Reverend Osagi. Thank you very much for coming. I appreciate you, sir. You know now. I see a lot of people in the building. I see my brothers for life. How many of you know Karosi? How many of you know Karosi, the popular gospel musician? Our full squad here in the building. Please welcome the Ejemoras. Yes. Can you stand up for recognition? This mighty man. I met Ima Jemura. You might remember who from it? Yes. 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 Early 90s. I came to Benin from Auchi. I was born in Auchi. I came to Benin when I was 15 years old. I ran away from home to pursue my dream. Sorry for another day. One of the people I met is this man here, my brother for life. He took me in. The family didn't know me before. At Agapiona here, they took me in. He met me in a church, like he said, playing instrument. He's a fantastic multi-instrumentalist, a bassist par excellence. He's also a tech guru. He's a man of many parts. He's here with his younger brothers. They took me into their home. His father and his mother and the entire family. You should be clapping now. We're talking about talent acceleration. So welcome, sir. I appreciate you. Thank you for your time. Quickly, the next guest we're going to be having came highly recommended. While I was planning this program all the way from Lagos, I was talking with my friend, Dr. TJ, who's one of our guest speakers. And I had too many names that were all men. And I had only one female. And, we need to consider gender equality and inclusion and everything. So I asked him to recommend other women that can join us in doing this. And he mentioned the next person that will be coming up. And I said, let me quickly check for this person. He said, you don't need to check anything. TJ made a profound statement. He said, I'd rather give up my slots for her. I thought she would be clapping. TJ said to me that, guy, TJ is my friend and my brother. I said, if there's no space, I will step down because you need to. So I went online. I checked out how amazing this woman is and the work that she has done and she keeps doing in the creative industry. And I promise you, you have a swell time tonight. Thank you.
Meet Isimeme White, a visionary tech strategist, social entrepreneur, and award-winning filmmaker with over 22 years of impact across education, entrepreneurship, and digital transformation. She is the founder and chief innovation officer of Genius Hub, leading initiatives that have empowered over 16,000 women, youth, and returned migrants. Recognized by UN Women and honored with the Golden Jubilee Award, Isimeme is also the force behind TWIVL and Green 7 Hubs, driving innovation, sustainability, and leadership. Her work spans global partnerships, public service, and creative storytelling, including 27 socially impactful films and a streaming platform, EYN Studios, training hundreds of careers in media. With a footprint across Nigeria and Rwanda, Isimeme White continues to champion digital inclusion, women's empowerment, and scalable solutions for Africa's future. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in make welcome Isimeme White.
Good evening, everyone. The response is very low. Good evening, everyone. First, I'm very honored, really honored to listen to eloquent pastor. And unfortunately, I came late, but a few minutes sitting in the room listening to you, it was really, really impactful. Thank you very much, sir. And to the organizer, thank you so much for spending your resources, your time, your energy to put this together. I mean, we should celebrate you every day for doing this. Thank you for doing this. Yeah, I have a very lovely sister in the house, my one and only professor. Professor Yu Alade Shelu is in the house. Please, can you help me celebrate her? Yeah, Mr. Simeon, the blockchain guru, I thought I saw him earlier. And I have my beautiful children in the house. And my team at Junior Sub, I recognize everyone here. My name is Isimeme White, and I like to call myself a social entrepreneur. And the reason is very simple. Life, no matter the money you make, no matter who you have become, life without impact for me is completely no life. So I want to die empty, and I beg God every day. He has empowered me, and I know He has empowered everyone. So I think the first investment God gave to everyone is the fact that He died on the cross. He sent His Son, love, like the highest love, to die on the cross, on the Calvary for all. That was one. The second investment I see is investment of favor. You know, sometimes we pray that God give us favor, bless us with favor. We already have that favor already. Then the other last that I recognize is grace. We already have grace. Sometimes we pray for grace, 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 but it's already there. Now, how do I know this? I know this because it is the gift that God has given to us. And that is the reason why I'm very excited with today's topic. Very timely, very important at this point in our life. We're talking about talent acceleration. And, you know, it's very interesting to hear when I saw this topic, the first thing that came to my mind was like, oh, is it the acceleration I want to blow now? Because again, acceleration means what? Growth. Acceleration means expansion, right? And when I saw the topic and I was just smiling, I said, oh, this is what the world needs to hear. Because we are in a world where, with the help of social media, everyone can be a star within a short time. But star without impact. And for those who have gifts, special gifts, who are looking for validation, is the reason why I told myself, no matter what, I will be available today. As I said, taking my malaria drugs today, I'm very strong, and I did not take this invitation for granted. It was inconvenience because I was very, very strong, and I'm happy I'm doing this right now. I have a slide, very straightforward slide, very simple slide. And please, next slide, please. Yes. If you look at this slide, very simple, turning talents into treasures. And I mean, when I listen to when I look at the last word, treasures, for me, it's priceless. But how do you get to a level where your gift, your talent become priceless? And you can't do this without even knowing who you are. So I look at talent, action, and treasure. But before we go deep, when we talk about talent, and this conversation, I don't want it to just be just me talking. We have young people in the house, and I don't know why they're not in front. Please, if you are sitting at the back, come forward. So let's make the room a little bit smaller so that we can talk to one another very well. I don't know if we can get another microphone so that we can pass the mic around. Yeah. So when we talk about talent, what comes to your mind? I have gift for the young people in the house. If you know me very well, I'm always giving out gifts. I have gifts for any volunteer. Should I pick by myself? Okay. I nominate beautiful woman, very amazing smile. So I think we should start with you. What comes to your mind when we talk about talent? Yeah, you. But you gave me a smile to call you. Yeah, that's talent. You were communicating with your body language, and I was able to connect with that.
All right.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Please just tell me your name.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
my name is Precious.
Oh, my
Precious
God.
Adedeji is my
Yeah.
name. All right.
Beautiful name.
Thank you, ma. Okay, I think talent, first of all, I think everybody has that. And I think talent are that innate gift and abilities that we have as a person that probably distinguish you as a person. What you have might be different from what the other person have. And sometimes we might have the same thing. So I think talent are the innate gifts that are particular to people. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Any other person? Any male in the house? Any young person? Oh, very good. I love the hand I'm seeing. Yeah, please go ahead. No. I saw your hand. Please go ahead, ma. Thank you.
Talent means marked ability or skill.
My God, I didn't hear that well. I hear gift, but I didn't get it clearly.
Marked ability or skilled. Something that is noticeable. Something that someone will see and know that truly this person is special. This person has something that the world needs.
Fantastic. Can we put our hands together for both of them? No. You know, it has been raining. July, it was really heavy. Rain was really, really heavy in Edo State. And many of us noticed that. So for us to really make this session very interactive, I need us to cooperate, please. Because part of why we are here is to understand the special gift that God has given to us. But how do you discover who you really are? You know, when people talk about talent, I remember when I was growing up, I talk a lot, I speak a lot, and if you were born in the 80s, 70s, you know, especially if you're a girl, when you speak and you are bold and you are assertive, the first thing society will say, oh, Otisoroju, like you talk too much. Oh, no respect. You don't have respect. And I get many times I hear this, keep quiet. And that was what I was exposed to. But you know, God is just a special God. Regardless of what society described me as, I was just bold. I don't even know where the boldness came from. I never got tired of speaking. And I make good million from talking right now. So that's talent. But I couldn't have just been doing all of this all by myself without full support from my family, without full support from my parents, without the necessary exposure, without the process of self-discovery. Really know who, you know, there's a lot of conversation around who am I? Who did they say? Even Jesus was asking his disciple, who did they say I am? So that's talking about your identity. And you cannot separate identity from talent. And you cannot separate talent from who you really are. That is the honest truth. So now, when I got this topic, I was just telling myself, talent is everything, though. But how do you break it down? How do you even know that you are talented? How do you know this is your area of specialization? How do you know this is you? Because again, you're in a society where people condemn people a lot. People just condemn you. People don't see anything good in you. I grew up in an environment where, apart from family, and not all family members. Not all family members. There are family members who, of course, will push you to be your best version, while some will definitely do everything to bring you down. You know what happened at that moment? They don't also know who they are. And because they don't know who they are, they want to add you to their list. So they fight it with everything. And I'm so grateful to God. One of the biggest things God did for me is the gift of knowing me. I think talent is about knowing you. Talent is about that self-worth, self-awareness, the ability to understand everything about you. I know I'm big, right? And people, they will say, oh, you're so big, you don't need to talk in. I talk in, right? This is me. I can't change me. I have accepted myself for who I am very long ago. And that is why I carry myself with so much grace. That is why I can walk in any room, express myself without feeling intimidated by anybody around me. But that is the beginning of talent. That means you need to discover yourself. That is number one. Because even if you are gifted, you have the talent of singing, you have the talent of dancing, you can do a lot with your hands. But if you don't even believe in yourself, there's no way you can believe in anything that comes out of you. And that is why at Junior, so we're very intentional about life skills. And when you talk about life skills, what are we talking about? We're talking about skills that will help you navigate through life. That means if you are not a driver, you can't drive through Ring Road, right? But if you are a driver with skills, you can navigate your way in Ring Road, right? That is exactly where I'm going to. So life skills help you make informed decisions. It helps you have clarity of purpose. Me, I'm multi-talented. I wear so many caps. But I have an identity. I develop myself intentionally. This is me that people said nothing good will come out from this, right? But this is me doing this today again. So it is very fundamental that we expose ourselves, make ourselves vulnerable to learn. The moment you make yourself vulnerable, the first thing that happens to you is freedom to be you. And when there's freedom to be you, what happens? There's creativity. Talent will be discovered. That is a fact. But because you haven't gone through that process of self-discovery, self-awareness is not there, you don't even know who you are. And because you don't know who you are, you can't even tell whether you have gifted, whether you have talent or not. So for me, for this room, for us to live here special, I know we are all special, it is for us to begin to look at ourselves again. If people are going to describe me, who do they think I am? Me, I'm not bothered about what people think. It's about what I think about myself. So I just want us to use 1 minute. 1 minute is even too much. Just write something about yourself in your jotter, something special about yourself, something if you don't have a jotter, use your phone. I want to read the comments. Who are you? I want you to just give me a sentence. Who are you? I'm going to be dropping the mic. Mr. TJ, it's nice to see you again. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. I don't take this for granted at all. So, please, can we put down a sentence? What do you think about yourself? I'm not talking about what people say, oh, you're beautiful. I'm not talking about your physical look right now. I mean, if you're going to describe yourself, how do you describe yourself in a sentence? I would like to read from any young person. We've gotten a lot of adult speaking. Any of these beautiful women, young people at the back. Like I said, I have gift too. I have special gifts. Yeah. Do you have anyone? We have written, right? Okay. The man with the red beard. Thank you. Thank you. Please read out. Can we give him a microphone? And the man on tie also want to speak. Thank you.
I am a person of value and the best thing that can happen to any room I step into.
No. I need you to say it again. I didn't hear that well.
I am a person of value and the best thing that can happen to any room I step into.
Wow. Amazing. Can we put our hands together for that? See, another way to know that you are very strong, that you trust yourself, you believe in yourself, is believing in people too. He said something very, very profound just now, and some of us were reluctant to clap. Can we please put our hands together for him? Yeah, the other man wanted to say something just now. Can we please pass the mic to him?
I'm a divine creation with a lot of passion, skill, and talent. Destined to impart my word.
Please say that. Say it. Read it again. Read it again.
I'm a divine creation with a lot of passion, skill, and talent. Destined to impart my word.
Wow. Can we put our hands together for him? We should start doing hashtag. Ross, your social media should be on fire. Because, these are very powerful adjectives. I want a young girl's voice. A young girl's voice. Yes, please go ahead.
I'm excellent and outstanding.
I'm excellent and outstanding. Can we put our hands together for her, please? Please, can we go back to my slide, please? So I'm struggling to read from my phone and at the same time. I think I should step down. Maybe this will help me a lot. Yeah. Now, we've talked a lot around self-discovery. What are your strengths? What are your strengths? Because again, if you don't write them out, if you don't intentionally write them out, you may not even know what you have in you. For example, one of my strengths is I have the ability to help you have clarity about your purpose. That is one of my strengths. Another strength I have is that I have mental energy. If you know me very well, you know that I have plenty of energy. But I do not just have physical energy, but I have mental energy. That I'm quiet and mentally busy. That's a strength. But we all have strengths. How do we turn this strength? How do we turn this strength to income-generating activities? I think that is one of the reasons why we are here. We are all talented. But we celebrate talents in Africa, especially in Nigeria, from the creative aspect, which I like, but I like to also say there are talents everywhere. We have talent in digital space. We have talent in creative space. We have talent in green economy. Talent is talent. But what is important here is the ability to even know your area of strength. Can we use another few minutes again to write out our strengths? I just listed my own earlier. Can we write out our strengths? I think it will help us a lot. Some of us, you already know your strength. What you are doing is just affirmation. You are just validating what you already know about yourself. Can we just note them? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do we have anyone who want to share their strengths? Pastor TJ, you want to share one of your strengths? Because I know you have lots, millions of strengths.
I'm trying to process. Anyway, one of my strengths is that I can think on my feet. I can solve problems on the go. I also talk for a living, so I never get tired of talking. I'm just talking jazz. I'm talking things that help people, get to the other day. I write. I sing. I act. I rap when I was a teenager, please.
Stretch the brain at any given time. The brain can be stretched at any given time. So even at this age, you can rap. Come on, Pastor TJ, you work with teenagers. The best way to communicate with young people is to be like them. You know me? If you be like them, they start acting in your own way. So he raps very well. That means I honestly have known him for more than 20 years now. And I'm just knowing this part of him. You see why it is very important to have conversation about one's strength. Because if you don't do this, you may not even know things that you have. I sit in rooms where they say, man, you are so intelligent. I hear that. I know that too. But this is not just knowing it. But I've also intentionally developed myself. Talent without growth. Talent without self-development. That's another area. You can rap very well. But if you don't develop yourself, you cannot scale. So it is very important to intentionally keep writing out your strengths and identify rooms that can help you develop these strengths. Everyone has his strengths. And one of the problems is that even when we discover our strengths, we focus more on the ones that are weak. You are just putting your energy. See, me, I don't have time on what is not working. I will focus on what is working, develop it, and make money from it. You see that one that's not working, I will outsource it. Because again, you need to begin to look at what is working. And the only way to know is your ability to keep discovering yourself. And reading will do that. Like me, if I watch a movie, it's like you are open my mind to so many ideas. If I listen to conversation, my mind is open. If I travel, what I hear, what I see, oh my God. It's another story on its own. So let's quickly look at action. What is that thing that I want to start doing? And what is that thing I want to stop doing? Because again, some of us have a habit of saying, okay, like rooms, we have empty seat here. Some of us decided to stay at the back. Nobody told you to stay at the back. Why do you want to just sit at the back? So it's also not a good. I don't want to say it's part of humility or a sign of humility. I mean, these chairs are free. There's nothing wrong walking in there with so much confidence and sit down there. And the reason why this is so important is that who sit in front. I don't want to call one big man name in Edo State. When they go to the airport to receive VIPs, you know what the man said? We paid him a course visit. He said, I push myself. I reach front. He said, camera no I tell reach front. What the camera see? Say, I did front. The man is a very prominent man. No? But many of us see him and we admire him. But, I mean, he didn't look down on himself. He believed in himself and he pushed himself forward. And when you are in front, see, everything that happened in front is front. That That is the honest truth. So you have to be intentional about yourself. And one of the reasons why we fight to stay in front is like, okay, if I walk straight, I'm thinking about what people think about me, or is my head big, or my legs looking like this, or they will see my... Sweet. Nobody's even thinking about you. So it is good you walk in and remain focused and move straight and sit down and focus on the main reason why you are in the room. Now, can I have I've talked about self-discovery and I've talked about action. Actions, like, why I deliberately use those examples are because, if you don't start taking those little action, when the big action comes, you will never even identify them and you'll never even take the action. You never will take the steps. So it is very important to take those actions deliberately. One of the actions that you also need to do, is read more, attend events, networking events, identify people you can look up to, mentors, not mentors who see you as threats, but mentors who see you as part of their growth. Mentor and sponsor. I always like to differentiate them. A mentor will give you guidance, we advise you, but a sponsor will advise you, give you direction, and knock the doors on your behalf, and open the doors on your behalf. So you need to identify all of these persons because they are part of your growth. Please, can we go back to that first, the slide before this? Yes. So now, some of us, like my friend here and a sister here, went back to school. She just got a PhD. That means she's hungry for growth. She did not say, okay, I was a general manager at the time. I worked with the governor before. I worked with the presidency. Let me cross my leg. And that is the end. But what did she do? Even when it was not comfortable. See, success is very stressful. And growth is very uncomfortable. You cannot scale and be comfortable. That is the reality. She pushed herself, University of Benin. If you know Uniben very well, I finished from University of Benin. I did not even graduate when my mate graduated. That's how stressful it was. So imagine going back to say you want to do masters, go back and do PhD, even with her career. That's because she has a vision. So the vision motivates all her activities. So activities to go back to school was intentional. So you cannot be talented and not want to scale. So scaling is very important, and there are a lot of activities that will help you scale. Reading. See, you cannot be too busy to say you cannot read anymore. Audio books. One of the gifts I got from Mr. Ashime was his book. He gave me one book like that. Very financial book, very rich. But what the book does is that, when you see BB figures, I don't know what it does to you, but it tells me that, man, what is my share inside this big money? I went into creative economy, not because I'm just talented, because I see the space. I see an opportunity to create impact. And I started doing self-discovery for young people, where you sit down, we begin to open up your mind to help you discover who you really are. At the end of the day, when you begin to read young people's personal mission statements, that is where you know that you have done a fantastic work. Then the transformation comes in when they start implementing the personal mission statement. Then you begin to see results. That's another level of fulfillment and success. But you have to be involved in all of these activities in order for you to scale. Talent has gone beyond, see Davido, for example. One thing I love about that guy is always intentionally helping himself to grow. Not just finance. It's always in the news. Whether for the wrong reason, whether for the right reason, it's always there. Imagine someone who have talent, who have resources. Why did he not just fold his hand? After all, my father had the money. But he went to develop himself. So, talent plus development. Then action. The action, we've said a lot of things. Have a simple work plan, a roadmap that tells you about your vision, that can guide you. A simple short plan, like plan for another 2-3 years. What will I be doing? 10 years to come, what will become of me? In 20 years to come, what will people be writing about me? Maybe that will inspire you. 70 years to come, if you add 70 years to your age currently, what legacy are you leaving behind? So all of this inspire and help you to think beyond just where you are. Now, acceleration. Acceleration is very important. And why you see some record label refuse to take in more talent? Because how many of us can give you one of the reasons why you see that they refuse to take more talent lately? If you've been following Ashake, how many of us remember Ashake's story? I was so desperate to meet Olamide record label, Alex Okeke. And eventually when he met him, he was so desperate and the guy said, calm down. Go and sit down with your lawyer. And I'm sure you already know the end of the story. They're no longer together, right? February this year, we had the opportunity of hosting a career part at the Omniverse. And we had the opportunity of having Alex Okeke, who happened to be my classmates. And I was telling him, we had the talent on. Can you take in some talent? He said, see, me, no be as you see him. No be as you see him. And, talent is not just in creative space. Talent in workspace, where there's no gratitude. You heard this man when he came in. Sorry, sir, I'm calling you this man, but you're a man. Right? You saw the way he was appreciating everyone that helped him to climb the ladder of success. We have young people in this generation, people you knock the door for, people you open the door on their behalf. They can't even appreciate you. Rather, they do everything to bring you down. And you talk about loyalty every time. See, gratitude, loyalty is another way to accelerate. You cannot even scale. What this daddy that brought us together here now is leveraging on is relationship. Now we have young people, they just want to blow now. Nobody bother to care about the process, the journey. Everybody are just looking at the results. But how did all of these top guys, how did they get to where they are today? So loyalty and gratitude is very, very important. And why I need to emphasize this, for you to expand, for you to accelerate, for you to scale, you must begin to learn to appreciate yourself, appreciate everyone who has helped you. Why is it so important that you practice gratitude? Because honestly, it is what you show gratitude to. It is what you attract. If you are the type that always complain, oh, this is not working, it will never work. It will never work. So gratitude leads to loyalty. And loyalty leads to acceleration. I just want to emphasize this. Whatever I've become today, it is because of loyalty. See, fine, I'm talented, right? I was finishing my final year exam when I got appointed into Edo State government house. One of the youngest. I started representing Nigeria for my 100 level days. It wasn't because I was just the best. So what has kept me to date is gratitude and loyalty. And that is why I can never compete with those who have helped me to scale. If GPI, Gas Power Initiative, is applying for, there's a call for proposal, if I'm aware they're applying, the highest I will do is to call Momsi, are you bidding? And God bless that woman. She says, okay, we are bidding, we are not bidding, let's do it together. I will never. Because the truth is, loyalty has its own grace. It comes with, in fact, I cannot even explain it. So I want to beg us for young people in the room. Gratitude is important. Loyalty is key. So can we go to the next slide now? I'm almost rounding up. Don't worry, so that you don't get tired. So now, why is acceleration, what does it really mean when we talk about acceleration? Because I've talked about it's not just the financial aspect. There's emotional growth. There's this part of success. I don't know. Everybody have their own definition of success. But for me, it's what gave me fulfillment. And again, everyone can put metrics. And say, okay, when I get to so age, I want to make sure that by God's grace, I should have reached so millions of young persons, impact their life positively. That's my own way of defining success. Some person can say the amount of money in their account. But again, what does acceleration mean to you? We started junior sub here in Edo State. We've expanded to other cities like Lagos, like Kano, even to one small tiny office in Rwanda. It's an expansion, right? We want to reach more people. But for me, it is deeper and it's beyond the location. It is the life that has been affected, life that has been impacted positively. Now, emotional intelligence is another one I just want to just add. Whatever you want to become, for growth to be sustainable, there's a level where you get to. That is why you hear businesses that have started, and after when the owner died, the business just kind of died. But we're talking about acceleration that leads to sustainability. After you, what become your business? What will be? In fact, let's say something happened tomorrow to Isimeme White. I've told myself when I'm clocking 50 by God's grace, I want to retire from junior sub. Yes. I already have succession plans. I have business continuity plans written like 4 years ago. And that is because I've already developed my mind. So acceleration is very, very, very important. But sustaining it is the most important aspect of acceleration. Okay. The last on my slide. So we talk about finance, why acceleration, what's acceleration, why it's important to accelerate, financial growth, emotional sustainability, spiritual sustainability, knowledge, of course, and your network will definitely expand. Are you ready to accelerate? No, the rest one is very low. Are you ready to accelerate? Okay, so if you are ready to accelerate, please take action and be your best and be yourself all the time. I want to say thank you again. Thank you so much. Yeah, you can follow us on our various social media. I will share this slide. Please start for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Please appreciate Isimeme White one more time. You are not doing it well. Your presentation is a summary of my first book, which was released 2 years ago. The title of the book is Talent to Treasures. Pastor Mike's teaching is a summary of my new book, which came out on Friday on my birthday, which is titled The Parable of the Talents. The book is available. All the books are available on Amazon, Seller, and anywhere you can find books online. Please welcome again. I want to acknowledge the presence of Reverend Jerome, who is our pastor in this house. Welcome, sir. Please make welcome Reverend Jerome. And also I want to make welcome Reverend Shalom Gar. You're welcome, sir. I acknowledge the presence of, while you were speaking, you mentioned something directly about me. Now, as creative people, if you ask young people, especially those of us that are in the business of talent development, one of the basic questions or the worry or the complaint or the excuse that most people will give is that they don't have money. They're looking for sponsors, they're looking for capital to start. Now, there are different kinds of capital. I've always leveraged on social capital. That's what has worked for me. And even standing here today, this is made possible, like you mentioned, based on the ability to be able to leverage on friends and all that. If you're a creative person, you must learn how to develop social capital. There are 4 kinds of people you must become, and there are 4 kinds of people you must endeavor to know or have relationship with: mentors, proteges, friends, and role models. Very important. You must seek to be a mentor to people. You must seek to be a protege to somebody or some other persons. You must develop friends based on 2 things: needs and interests. All my friends, we have the same needs, we have the same interests. I'll give you an example. My book is out today. By this time last week, I wasn't sure I was going to really print that book. I called TJ. I called Dr. TJ, and I was venting a lot of frustration. And he said to me that, okay, these reasons is why you will not put out the book. I needed, sometimes you have to reach out to friends. That's part of the social capital I'm talking about, because of accountability. You know what you want to do, but you are stuck at sometimes, and you need to. There's one particular person that you can pull out of the list of the many friends that you can reach out to that can talk sense into you, and that's what TJ did for me. Even before I started writing, I've written books for years. I want to acknowledge Reverend Ifo Ifture in the building. Thank you, sir, for coming. There's one person I called you like 4 or 5 years ago, and I complained to you that I don't write books, but I'm not just able to publish them and everything. And he is exceptionally gifted in that area. He has a brand. If you want to break the yoke of not being able to publish a book, he helped me because I had to speak to him about it. Even last week, I was struggling with some things concerning publishing my new book. I also had to reach out to him. So it is very important you leverage on social capital. You must find people that you can talk to, that can also talk to you. A mentor is someone whose instruction you take, not someone you listen to for advice. A mentor is someone, and my mentor is in the building. Please rise up as we make welcome Bishop Dr. Ferb Idausa. What a surprise. Jesus. What a surprise. Please welcome my father, my coach, my mentor. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. And I was talking about social capital. Thank you, sir, for coming. And everything I wanted to say, don't vanish. Okay. I want to acknowledge Pastor Wisdom and the entire family of Fogmom Edo State. Thank you for coming. We have the convener of the Best of Ado Awards in the building, Sir Paul Ofoni. Please welcome, sir. We have a panelist session coming up. I want to acknowledge DSTV for coming. If you don't have Showmax on your phone, please download them so that you can support us next time with dollars. Welcome the team of DSTV. We also have Munchit in the house. We are going to be munching something at the end of the day from Munchit. Clap now. I also want to acknowledge the founder and CEO of Gaga's Imagery for the photography support, OG Links, Iwo TV, and so on and so forth. Thank you for coming. I'll acknowledge you as we go. Our next speaker, see me, my wife called her a professor, and you said she just got PhD. She never stopped. We were chatting last week, and she was telling me of another course that she's doing. If you check the declinization, all the letters in the alphabet, they don't finish. We need to start using Arabic. So please, as the video intro will introduce the next speaker as we go on. Thank you.
Osayunwamen Aladishelu, FIHSD, FGAFM, FAAPM, FCIPDM, ACIPM, HRPL, SMC, Social Development Consultant, Gender and Social Inclusion Expert, Portfolio Manager, Talent Management Specialist. With over 18 years of experience in social development, Osayunwamen Aladishelu is a seasoned consultant specializing in human capital development, gender equality, youth empowerment, and sustainable community transformation. Her expertise spans social protection, policy advocacy, project and portfolio management, and talent development. She holds a master's degree in social work from the University of Benin and is certified in human resource analytics, AAPM USA, Scrum Mastery, Scrum Study, and social protection and disability inclusion, UNICEF and Hushdo, Born Rain Sage. She is a licensed HR professional, CIPM, and an accredited management consultant, Global Finance and Management Institute, USA. Osayunwamen has led high-impact initiatives across non-profit, public, and international development sectors. As General Manager of the Edo State Social Investment Program, she oversaw interventions reaching over 140,000 beneficiaries. She has also facilitated major donor-funded projects, including a $2 million targeted social protection policy with Save the Children Foundation and FCDO. Her leadership extends to board roles with Tone Foundation Canada and African Women Empowerment Guild, faculty membership at the Sprint Leadership Program, and patronage of the Peace Corps of Nigeria. She is a frequent speaker and facilitator at global forums, including the UN Commission on the Statutes of Women and Global Solution Summits. Ladies and gentlemen, join me make welcome Osayunwamen Aladishelu.
Thank you. Thank you, Bishop. Thank you, Dr. KBK, for this opportunity. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I think we've been sitting down for some time. Can we just stand up for like few seconds? And just do a torso twist. So you can intertwine your hands like this and then move to, let's take the left and then let's take, come back to the middle and then take the right and then come back to the middle and go the left, then come back to the middle and go to the right. One more time to the middle and then to the left, then the middle and the right. Put your hands together for yourselves. All right, you can sit down, please. This is, I was just telling TJ that I was hoping to be the first person to speak. Pastor Mike has spoken, then he brought Isimeme to speak. What am I going to say after Isimeme? But thank you so much for the opportunity. Do you have my slide? Okay. I've been told to speak today on your talent, accelerating your talent for personal growth and development. As a subtopic for talent to treasure, I do my best to work on it. We've been hearing about talent. How many of us here in this room actually believe that we have a talent? Can I see you? I think everybody's hand should be up. I'm seeing some people not sure. Some people's hands like this. Maybe not, maybe. All right. Okay. So Pastor Mike talked about this, and Isimema talked about it, that sometimes you think about when they say talent, is it singing, is it dancing, is it acting, whatever it is. But we all have talents, no matter what it is, what style it is, and in what capacity. Talent is your unique ability to solve problems, to bring order, inspire people, or create solutions. Your talent is the starting point, but growth comes when you accelerate it with clarity. Isimema White was talking about one of her talents being bringing clarity to your purpose, to why you're existing. Also learning and service. How do we accelerate talent for growth, for impact, and for development? And Isimema has done a lot on that. Your talent is your starting point, but your growth is your responsibility. Your talent is your starting point, but growth is your responsibility. Pastor Mike talked about the fact that talent is also a seed. So you think of it like a seed. A seed has potential. But unless that seed is planted, it's watered, you nurture it, it will remain a seed. But like Miles Monroe will say that there are millions and millions of trees in one seed. But if it's not planted, it remains as a seed. And that's just the same way a talent is. If you just leave the talent when you just know, okay, I can do this, and you don't do anything about it, you will spend the next 20 years or even the rest of your life leaving it as a talent that you have, and probably only you knows that you have it. So sometimes we talk about things that we want to do with our talents, but we never use it. I have a friend who told me years ago that he has a dream. He wants to start, I didn't even know what it was called then. He said he will have a place and people will come and watch football. That's what we call viewing centers now, right? By that time, I don't think there was any viewing center. My friend today doesn't have a viewing center, but there are millions of, there are viewing centers everywhere. In fact, some people's homes are their viewing centers. But he just talked about it, but never did anything about it. So just imagine millions that he has lost by not even starting it. Even if he called us who were just friends and family to start, by now it would have grown, right? That's just how it is when you have a talent. You don't do anything about it. You sit on it. Nothing happens. And if you do not work on it, nobody will know that you have it. And then it doesn't grow, and you don't make impact, and you don't generate anything from it. You don't get a job from it. Pastor Mike was talking about a story, and when you were telling the story, I remembered a story that I like to share. I didn't plan on sharing it, but I will say it. Anybody, I've shared this story recently, and maybe some people that were there before when I shared it, you can hear it again for the uptime time. but I'll share it for those who haven't heard before. There was a young boy, let's say his name was Victor. And Victor he was a farm boy, and he went to a farmer. You know how it is in those kind of places that they have big farms, maybe in Texas and all that, and you can live in. And he says, and the owner of the farm says, "What can you do?" He asks Victor, "What can you do?" And Victor looked at him and said, "I know how to sleep when the wind blows." How do you go to an interview saying that? This is an interview. They want to employ you to be a farm boy, to be somebody who's going to work in the house. And the next thing you are saying is, "I know how to sleep when the wind blows." Maybe the person was like the way Pastor Mike was to Dr. KBK. Let me just help this guy. He doesn't have anything, but let me just be there. Let someone just be in the house. So he said, "Okay, come in and work for me." And then he started working. Then one day, there was a boisterous wind. The rain was coming. And the owner of the farm came out. You know how it is, especially in Nigeria, when one wants to fall. Everybody's running up and down, checking, the windows locked and everything. So this man now was going around the house to make sure that the house was intact, the stall and everything. And, of course, the first thing is I have employed somebody to help me in the house. And he goes to Victor's room. And Victor is fast asleep. And says, "I'm going to deal with this guy later. Let me go and, it's my property, right?" And then he went to the store. The door was locked. The windows were shut. Everything was in place. It was then he understood what Victor said when he said, "I know how to sleep when the wind blows." Meaning that I do my work well. So when the wind is blowing, I can sleep. It means that Victor had a talent of being organized. He knew what to do at the right time. So it's not when the rain wants to fall, I'll start running up and down. Because if that's the point, when you want to run up and down, there's no way. For example, you've had some clothes hung in line. Before you get there, at least one cloth. Then you yourself, you'll be drenched, right? But he knew how to sleep when the wind blows. Some of us, our talent is that we are organized. I'm an organizer. I'm highly organized. That's one of my talents. So, but with time, I'll share my story on that. So what is your talent? And how far are you using that talent? I'll give you a quote from Benjamin Franklin, who says, "Hide not your talents. They for use were made. What's a sundial in the shade? Hide not your talents. They, that is your talents, for use they were made." God gave you those talents to use them. Pastor Mike has talked about that. He gave you a talent. What are you using them for? Just sitting down in your house, you're doing nothing with it. And like he said, some of the talents that you have been given, there are people, millions of people that are waiting to benefit from that talent. And God put it in you to use it. Do you know that sometimes, I don't know if you have experienced it, it may just be somewhere, you may think it's just your mind, but most times it's God that is inspiring you. And He gives you an idea to do something. And then you say, "I will do it, I will do it." Before long, somebody else will start doing it. Has it happened to you? Many times. God gave you that talent to use it. He said, what is the purpose of a sundial in the shade? The sundial is supposed to give you direction of the sun, And you are in the shadow, you put the sundial. It has no use. Just like what the man with the one talent did. He just came and buried it. And like Pastor Mike said, when he buried the talent, he didn't give the master back a talent in its original worth, but he gave him something of less value. So when you are sitting on your talent, you are actually it's not remaining in the same state, it's actually depreciating. Because a talent, for example, that is useful, or I don't say was because I'm still relevant in generation, but let's say my parents' generation may not be useful anymore. Those people who are highly talented as typists, for those people that know those, typewriters, their skill is gone. It's gone. There's that typewriter. Or those days, I think I was just about entering secondary school, maybe primary school. We heard about the shorthand. But many of us never used shorthand. We heard about it, but many of us never used it. It's gone. So if you sit on that talent, a generation, like the Pharaoh that knew not Joseph, a generation will come that will not need that talent or that skill as it were and just be wasted. So it's important that you begin to use it. Why is talent alone not enough? Talent without growth is dormant, like I said. Talent with growth is development. Talent with growth and service is impact. You get that? It's impact. And when you begin to develop your talent and you serve with it, there are many people who you are impacting. Do you know many times when you come into an organization, if you're working, whether it's even a place you're not being paid or if it's in the church, even the people that you think, you think that they are helping you because they're giving you an opportunity or a platform, you're actually also impacting them and then impacting the generations that are watching you. So it's impact. There are many people, many times when you have a talent, you impact those above, you impact those in the same level horizontally, you impact those below. So it's important that you don't sit on it. A smartphone with no data. I think everybody has a smartphone. You have a smartphone. But there's no data. You cannot use the things that make it smart. It has potential, right? But it's not in use. It's not fully functional. So it has potential, but no full function. And I like to talk about the potential and kinetic energy for those people that did physics, as it were. There's the potential energy and the kinetic energy. Potential energy remains at the state that it is. I think it was Newton's first law of motion that says an object will remain at rest until an external force is acted on it that makes it move, right? So unless that happens, it remains as a potential. You are just there. So many of us, our talent, or some of us, still in the state of being potential. There is no force that has been acted on it to make it kinetic energy, which is what Auntie Simem was talking about when she said action. So if you leave a car there, you do not start it or you do not push it, nothing happens, it remains there. It's a car that can take you from point A to point Z, but you are remaining here because there's no action. You understand? So it's important that you put in the necessary things to make, for example, what I said, the smartphone being functional, turning it from potential energy to kinetic energy. Now I have the 3 C's, a framework I've called How to Turn Talent to Treasure. This one woman that we know. Number 1 is clarity. This is Oprah Winfrey, I believe. She the one? Oh, fantastic. Number 1 is clarity. Discovering your gifts. Know what you carry. That's what Auntie Simon was talking about. You have to know what you carry. Many of us have talents. We don't even know what we are carrying. We don't even know what we can get from it. We don't even know the treasure, the mine that is there. You have to know what you carry. What do people always commend you for? There are many times when people say, I don't know what my talent. I don't know what's my gift. In many places you go to sometimes, you ask some students, and they tell you, I don't know, I don't have anything. It's not because they don't have, it's just because they don't know what they carry. And as I talk about the other examples, you know. So it's easy to now ask yourself, what do people always commend me for? Sometimes we even have different talents. Some of us are multi-talented. We have different talents. It's just that there's a different scale to which we can use all of them. Out of the 5, you may prioritize 3 to be known for, but we have 5. So I used to joke like saying that just the way God gave in the parable, and the man had 5 talents. Okay, I am multi-talented, and I must make profit for every talent. Doesn't mean that I will go and kill myself to make sure that I'm having 100%, but I must put it to use. So it's important you now act, you now decide, okay, yes, I already know this one. Is there any other thing that I have that people commend me for? If people are always commending you for something, that is a talent, that's a gift that you have. You need to look more into it. What feels natural to you but difficult for others? Something that you come into a place, people are struggling to do it, but you just come, and without thinking, it just comes out of your mouth, or you just do it. There's a video, I don't know why this thing came to my mind, but I saw something on Instagram, and I saw a guy gymming. He was carrying a dumbbell. It was not really a dumbbell, the higher weight. And he was really lifting the higher weights and showing that he had strength. and another guy came and lifted him that was lifting the weight. That guy is highly talented in weightlifting, whatever it is. You know, that thing came out. He didn't even think. He just came, and he carried the guy like a child. Just carried him with the weight. The guy was so embarrassed that he dropped the weight and walked away. What gives me joy when I'm doing it? There are things that when you know that you keep doing this thing and it gives you joy, and you are excited about it, it's your talent, and it's something that you are actually passionate about. You need to work on it and move. Oprah Winfrey discovered early that she had a gift for communication. She built it and became a global media leader. You can't argue that. Even the child that was born 2 years ago, I'm sure already knows that. Somebody like Oprah Winfrey. It's just like Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson has died which year? Michael Jackson has died since. There are people, even the children that will be born 10 years from now, will show us Michael Jackson's moves. You know, when Michael Jackson was alive, there were three most popular things in the world. Number one, Jesus. Number two, Coca-Cola. Number three, Michael Jackson. Three. I'm sure that, even till now, if you go to Africa, any place, they know Michael Jackson. It's just one person, it's just a human being. In fact, talking about Michael Jackson is another story entirely. Let's go to the one that people like. The next person that people like. I don't know why they like him, but capacity. Okay, he's there. Is he the one that is the goat or is Messi? He's the real goat. There's fake goat. But there's a real goat. Okay. There are people that are not answering because they are Messi fans. He's the original goat. Okay. Let me tell you something. I said this anytime I talk and mention him. When I first saw this guy, I didn't like him. This guy. He's your guy. Your real guy. I didn't like him. And my reason is personal, but there's some level of truth to it. I didn't like him because I knew a Ronaldo. The Ronaldo I knew is the real Ronaldo. Now, let me explain. No. There's a Ronaldo of Brazil. That is the Ronaldo. The Ronaldo of Brazil was in the team, the Brazilian team, that everybody in that team was a celebrity. Is it Cafu? Is it Denilson? Is it Ronaldinho? All of them were all players. Not body, not one was left. The Roberto that was dribbler, all of them. I watched Ronaldo's video from beginning to the end. That's when I loved Ronaldo. Until he had his injury that made him to stop. And I just liked him. And then I understood when my father always talked about Brazilian football. Then as his days were running, I now heard that there's a younger Ronaldo from Portugal. Who is this guy? See? And I saw him. Proud look. I was very upset. I was like, very proud guy. I didn't like him. I'm just being honest. Then I mentioned it to Reverend Awipi, if you know him, Mima Awipi. And then he told me that this guy, he comes to rehearsal for hours before people come, and he practices. And he keeps playing. Immediately he told me that. In fact, the flip, I didn't need anyone to preach to me again. Is the goat, Abby? He had a talent, but he didn't leave it as that. He had to build on it and make it more of a capacity. Grow your gift. Grow your gift. He's the real goat today, not because he knew he could play and started at home. He's a real goat today, according to you people, Shah. He's a real goat because he worked on it. So, Isi Memo was talking. So, I have a gift of organizing. I'm experienced in many things. But I didn't stop there like she was saying. So, you want to improve yourself. You know that you are talented in this area. Take courses. There are many courses online. Some of them are free. Some of them, they are free without the certificate, and you pay something and they give you. Coursera, Udemy, LinkedIn, whatever it is. Read, then practice. Raw talent is like unrefined gold. It is valuable, but not market ready. Like he said, seek mentorship. You know, it's important that when you have a talent, meet people that have done maybe twice as much as what you are trying to do. and you can even do 10 times as much as what they're doing. But the essence of having those mentors is that the path that they've passed, the pitfalls that they've gone into, you would be able to meander them because they would tell you, don't go this way, go like this. Or do it like this, you can become better. Practice consistently. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. That's from Tim Knott. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Cristiano Ronaldo, he had a natural football talent, but his work ethic made him legendary. Let us just look at a few more persons. Now, the first one, okay, my slide is not there. The first person, that guy there, it's one guy that I used to look forward to watch during Olympics. That's Michael Phelps. Those things on his neck, they're not just decorations. So I will read it for you. When I see Michael Phelps, I now have to ask, I've heard that the people in South, particularly Bayelsa and Patani, they live inside water. And I said, why is Michael Phelps still raining? Why have we not trained those people that like fish inside water to go and take care of, go and dispute him? Let me read his background for you a little bit. He was diagnosed with ADHD as a child, attention deficit, like he could not focus. That's what they diagnosed him as. So, meaning that they could have said, oh, I have an issue, I won't be able to function, no? They introduced him to swimming at age 7 to channel his energy. Because even now, most of the Nigerians that move to Canada, they say that many Nigerians, we have ADHD. Because they don't understand that we have energy. We know what to do. We want to do things, So they diagnose it as, you have attention deficit syndrome. You what people have. But whoever it was, whether it was his mother or somebody, knew that this guy has an energy. Let us channel it. He started to swim at age 7. Initially underestimated, but his raw talent was undeniable. Daily discipline, he trained 6 hours a day, 6 days a week, often swimming 80 kilometers per week. Consistent learning and coaching to refine techniques, overcame challenges of self-doubt and setbacks. Treasure. Remember, this is talent to treasure. Now, he won 28 Olympic medals, 23 golds. He's the most decorated Olympian in history. He built a global brand through endorsements, blah, blah, blah. And he says this, you can't put a limit on anything. The more you dream, the farther you get. Because of time, I'm not going to talk about the other person. My story, there's Chimamanda, I've read it a couple of times. My story, a lot of things. I knew I had gift for organizing. I knew I could do a lot of things. But I didn't just appear here today. I wanted to be more. I wanted to do more. I wanted to become more. And I put in body, use of my energy. I had energy. I have energy. And I say this to us that young people, our greatest gift is energy. And this is the time to use it. I have a voice. And I thank God for the platform that I had. I had different platforms, including the church. I use my voice to speak to people, to talk about things. But I decided to train my mind further. So there was a training I attended, and somebody mentioned that there were free courses online. I don't know if it was this member that mentioned it. I said, okay, for me to grow in this my field, I need to know more so that I can become more. So that when I'm talking, I'm not just talking, but I'm making sense in the development space. So one of the years I was on vacation in the UK, and I said, okay, this is Igbo, they have Wi-Fi, I will finish this Wi-Fi. So in the morning, before I leave my bed, before I leave my room, because when I wake up, before I even talk to you, I like to brush my teeth. It's my principle. I like to brush my teeth and talk to you very nicely. So I told myself that before I leave my room, before I brush my teeth, I must do courses. I must do at least one course before I leave my room. When I was leaving my vacation, I did about 11 courses. That was a vacation of about 3 weeks or so, 11. By the time I came back, in fact, the second interview I went for a job, it was an interview for a World Bank assisted project. The people in the interview panel, they said, you have been busy, you've kept yourself busy. They were just like, what's next, what's next? And I got the job. But because I was speaking, but they also saw what I had done, you know. So I kept improving myself. I kept developing myself. I kept pushing myself. And then I also understood that my talent is from God. And so I brought in my faith. That's the faith walk that is there. Anchored in faith, that talent is a gift for God. And I said, God, help me. While I was on vacation, as I was doing the courses, I was praying. I said, God, I need to move from this level to the next level. Help me and direct me to know the areas to focus on, you know. And I kept telling God. And I believed that God, as I'm working, as I'm serving, as I'm doing the things, you will push me. So even in the platform that I had, even in church, thank God Bishop Feb is here. Thank you so much, sir. And of course, Mama. There are many opportunities. I had grown from different levels to serve. I don't waste time. For me, volunteerism, even outside the church, I volunteered to be trained by UNICEF when I was serving. In fact, my platoon commander was not happy because he said I was one of the best matchers, but I couldn't match because I was doing a UNICEF training. But today, that volunteering work that I did, I was going from street to street, going from school to school in Sararuna, Kitty States, training people. So when I'm talking with people, I'm telling people what I've done, even in rural communities. They didn't pay me anything for it, but it has added to my story. It made me to be able to speak to more people, even rural people. I took that raw talent and developed it. And I said, God, bless me, help me grow it. And you know, when they asked me to come into government, in fact, I turned it down. I didn't believe in working in government. And they said, no, you have to come. And they just sent my name and asked how I was appointed. And when I got into the government, I started doing things. When I got into the program, there was only one program that was functioning. It just started. It was just one program. We had just about 4,700 people. But when I left, we had over 140,000. In fact, I took the program from one program to 6 programs in Edo State. In fact, Edo State was the only state that had 6 programs and a state-owned initiative across the country. And they noticed that this person is organized. So in almost any committee that they want, they will always put in me, Alagoda, whatever it is, they will call me to be there. So it's important that you take that talent, you nurture it, you water it, you work on it, and then you use it. Volunteer with it, let people know that this is what you do. And with time, even if you fall, Bishop Benson Dawson of blessed memory say, it's not bad to fall, it's only bad to remain on the ground. Get up, continue from where you are. One of my aha moments was the fact that I went for a job interview. At that time, I was not sure what I wanted to do. But they called me to come for an interview, and they told me they were going to pay me, give me transport fare to come for the interview. And in fact, in my mind, that was a scam. How can you tell you to invite you for an interview, and they are giving you transport money? It was my mom that encouraged me to say, just go. I went for the first one, I passed it. By the time they were calling me for the second one, they called me for another interview. So I went to 2 interviews on the payment, because it was in Abuja, on the payment of the first job. So they paid me to go for the interview, just to attend. And when I was there was when it hits me that this is the path I should go. And then I kept on building myself. I kept on developing network. I kept on doing. I would tell them, any opportunity for training, please call me. Even if any opportunity, let me just come for that training. When I heard about something called social protection, I went for a meeting. I said, please, I want to belong to this social protection community of practice. Add me. I didn't know anything about it. I went online. I said, you know what? I want to, if they're calling 3 people in Edo State that are authorities of voices in social protection, I'll be one of the 3. I took courses. I was doing everything. And then I applied to one German university and UNICEF-sponsored program, and they paid for me to attend a 3 months course. I didn't just stop there. I now applied to Save the Children International that I wanted to do Edo State social protection policy. And they said they don't work in Edo State. But for the adaptive fund, they will work in Edo State. I started in my house. I wrote the proposal. I prayed, God help me, and everything. It's a long story. God helped me. I wrote the proposal. When we started the work, they said, oh, they've spent a lot of money for COVID. That's because it was funded by FCDO in UK. They spent a lot of money for their people. They can't. I said, God, you started this project. You will complete it. And then they called me back and said, we'll fund it to the end. And I, by God's grace, worked with the committee, and we developed the Edo State Social Protection Policy. I'm not sure there's any policy that in South. Because I said I wanted to be a voice. So when they're asking for things, they call me. In fact, somebody called me this week, I think Wednesday or Thursday. Oh, they wanted me to do something for them. So it's important that you begin to work on it. And the last C is contribution, which I've talked a lot about myself. Deploying your gifts, use it to serve. Volunteer, solve problems, serve your community. Value attracts reward. Service accelerates learning and visibility. So talent development steps, we have mentioned before, discover, develop, display, and diversify. Accelerating talent equals to personal growth. Talent develops character through discipline and consistency. And we saw that even in the people that I brought up in case studies, Ronaldo and all of that. Discipline and consistency. My 3 words for this year have been focus, consistency, and being intentional, intentionality. So my 3 words for this year. And people will ask me, how are you able to do your PhD and your work and everything? I had to focus. I had to be consistent. I had to be deliberate. And so it's important that you focus on being consistent and be consistent in being focused. Talent builds confidence. When you use it, you grow. Talent creates opportunity. Doors open when you bring value. The Bible says your gift will make room for you and bring you before great men. Before I leave, I'll just ask you to tell one person beside you. Share one talent that you have. And one way you can grow or use it this year. Or maybe next year if you think it's too late. But start from this year. Through learning, through service, or practice. What is one talent that you have? And one way that you want to grow it? Learning, service, or practice. You're thinking about it. 30 seconds. Turn to the person by your left or by your right. This is not church, but just try. What is that one talent that you think, at the beginning of this lecture, I'd asked you about if you have a talent that you need to use. So my time is up. You can do that when I leave. My call to action at this point, don't bury your talent. Plant it. Treasure is hidden inside talent, but you must dig it out. Service is the bridge between talent and treasure. Your talent is your ticket. Guard it, grow it, give it. When clarity meets capacity and contribution, treasure is inevitable. I started with the simple gift of organizing, and in many places that I work in, even the fact that I was working with somebody when we had the Edo State, the National Sports Festival in Edo State, it was the fact that I had that talent. I worked with the person I served, and that made me to stand out even in organizing. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you. Please appreciate Dr. Yua one more time. Are we having a good time? I hope you are writing and you are taking notes. Well, thank you. Please make very good use of this opportunity to network. I've been saying that from the very beginning. Meet with people that you have not met before. If I didn't meet Ima Ejemora, my brother, so many years ago, I'll give. There are so many benefits for people that I know in this room. My first email address, inumonoa@yahoo.com, was opened by Ima. When internet came to Benin City, Nigerian Net at Main Gate, yes, he was the manager. I knew nothing about computers. I was totally a novice. But because he was my friend, I'll go and visit him. Those days, you dare not touch the computer. They will operate it for you. You pay like 1.5 to check email. So because he was my friend, I had access to computers. I had access to the internet. That's how I learned how to use the internet. So we'll go with diskette and download everything we want to download concerning music, entertainment. So you see, I leveraged on social capital with my friend. He opened my first email address, taught me how to use the computer and how to navigate the internet. And today, man, they say the rest is history, Abi? So please take advantage of the people that you have met here. And there's something also that I did growing up that I still do. It's called benchmarking. When I wanted to start Arc Music International, our first office was at 102 Ekewan Road. I would go to places that I admire and people that I admire. I'll go from afar and study them. I'll go to the banks. I'll go see how they set up their structure, how they run. I didn't know anything about business. I didn't know anything about corporate governance. I didn't know nothing, but I would just benchmark. One of the places I used to go to was at Office Station at Akpakpava, opposite Total. Yeah. That was one of the places I used to go to. The second place was BIU. Then it was Benson, Dawson University. Yes. Christian Faith University, yes. So I would go to those two places. The first time I ever saw a RAM was at Office Station. A RAM. Computer RAM. Physically, I ever saw it and touched it. That was my first computer casing, keyboard and mouse I bought at Office Station. I saved for months. I didn't say computer, just the casing. So I started buying those components because that's where I saw those things for the first time. You understand? I still have a copy of Ken Franklin's book I bought at that bookshop at Office Station. Yes, Why We Sing. I bought that book, Ken Franklin's book. Yes, I bought the Apocalypse by Ren Chrisokote. Yes. So from afar, I'll be seeing DFI. I was seeing all these things. And I was taken to BIU to watch Dr. Feb from a distance, and it's been a lovely journey. So I've always understood what it means to pursue after role models and mentors and just learn easily from what you cannot achieve, and it works. And the next speaker we're having is also somebody that I knew from afar. Then we became friends. The first time I heard about him was his creative work. Before graphic design became graphic design. I'm a boy, Dot Bob. But he's courage what they see, Yeah. Yes, and before Photoshop, he was using courage to do amazing things. So we're going to watch his video intro, and please sit back and relax, and you're going to have a wonderful time. Thank you.
Tejiri Jerry Chunu, HCFPMC, fondly called Unusual TJ, is a brand communication strategist, a US certified family wellness coach, a family system, engineering and design associate practitioner, an NLP practitioner, a certified teens and youth leadership coach, and a digital parenting coach. He helps parenting and institutions raise resourceful and high-performing teens with strong entrepreneurial and leadership skills who are responsible, safe, and productive online. He is the founder of the Nursing Fathers Community, the GLAD Digital Parent Tribe, and Teens of Fire Leadership Network. He is a Rotarian, a Toastmaster, a fellow with the International Association of World Peace Ambassadors. He is married and a father of 5 children. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome Dr. Tejiri Jerry Chunu.
Grammy Award. Okay, awesome. Good evening, everyone. How you guys doing? You guys are not sounding fine. Okay, if you are tired, wave your hands. I'm even the most tired person because this is like my 4th meeting today. And so I'm not here to bore you. I'm very happy that Bishop Feb left. My heart was going, hey, how will I teach in front of Bishop Feb? Because I was his staff at Office Station. Yeah, but so tonight I have thoughts to share, interestingly, but before that, I think I should basically do revision, or I should recap what has been taught. Because when you think about, one of the challenges we have is that we like to consume information a lot. And one of the reasons we are where we are is that we refuse to act on that information. I use the word deliberately refuse. Because if only you will use half of the information you have consumed, you will not be sitting here the way you're feeling. Even if you're sitting here, you'll be feeling different. So this is the first thing we will do. I'm going to do review because somebody asked me to say something. Please ask your neighbor. Look at your neighbor. Don't look at me. Look at your neighbor. Find somebody you're looking at and ask the person, with all you have heard so far, what have you decided to do? There must be an answer. It's not... The person must tell you. This is not tell somebody you are blessed in Jesus' name. Ask the person what you have heard so far. And I want an answer. Who have they told? Who has been replied? Who has been? Did they reply you? Who replied? Who has a reply? Who has a reply? What is your neighbor going to do? He has decided to improve his talent. Please, a round of applause. Where is him? Stand up, the biggest man in the house. Stand up, let's celebrate him. Some of you at his age, you didn't have talent. So please, one more time, clap for him. At least he has talent and he wants to build. So basically, we need to do something. So tell your neighbor, do something before something do you. So Isimeme asked me to say this, and I took notes, and I was just saying, okay, I can easily send the things I wrote, and you guys will read it, and trust me, it's amazing. So I may not just come here to bore you with a lecture, but just to gist and probably share a few thoughts. But Isimeme said I should tell you this. She said, talent without character is useless. Did you hear that? Talent without character is what? So one of the things I know is that the truth is talent can take you anywhere. It can take you so high. And talent without character can get you crashing so fast. Yeah. So character is one of the things that sustains you up there. But you know, when Isimeme was talking, she said she's big. And she likes it, right? And that's why she's doing big things. So do not let, like my friend would say, do not let your background put your back to the ground. I usually, when I teach teens, I tell them the reason my head is shining is because anytime God wants to see his reflection from heaven, he looks down at me. And where do you think he sees it? Someone say glory. Yeah. So you can laugh at my akma. It's God's mirror as far as I'm concerned. Somebody was talking and the person said, he stood behind and he said, I'm going through a lot. He said, I am a lot, right? And I said, people have been looking for this guy because people have been going through a lot. We need to figure out who this guy is. Isimeme was teaching and she said, be vulnerable to learn. You remember that? Come on, talk to me. Remember that? Okay, I said, I didn't come here to do any lecture. I'm more tired than you are. So I want to gist. She said, be vulnerable to learn. And one of the things I just want to add to that is that you can learn off and from everything. What did I say? You can learn off and from everything. Even the youngest person here has something to teach. And sometimes we gloat in the knowledge we have, and that's why that donkey had to tell prophets, I hear from God. You know the sea? Yeah. The little knowledge you have can raise your shoulder so high that it blocks your ear. So you don't hear. So learn everything it's speaking. For 5 years, I wrote for the book of Proverbs every day, and I did not exhaust it. Why? Because God taught me to see life. So life started teaching me. I started writing what I called Win Today. So I was writing everything. So from this event, guess what? I have a story to tell. There's a lesson to learn. Yeah. Probably the way Isimeme, you know, when she said that thing that people say I'm big, I just whispered to you. I said that's why she's doing big things. Yeah. It's a lesson. And I can write a whole script out of that. Okay? So learn from See, life is always speaking. Life is always teaching. The challenge is that we refuse to learn because of our biases. Some of us, you know, it's like Jesus at the age of 12 talking to the Sadducees and the Pharisees. And they were too far to see that the young man was speaking with wisdom because of his size. That's what Papa used to call them. And one of the things I also realized is that the devil, when it comes to talent, because they're saying, do this, you know, start something. It's easy to get all those motivation. And then when we step out there, you see that, oh, I'm still in Nigeria. Probably if I was in Canada, this motivation would have worked for me. I was sharing with my big brother, and I told him that, you know, one thing the devil has become good at, and then we have empowered him to do that, is to make us believe in our weaknesses. Can you imagine that you're all carriers of God? Talk to me. So if God was to do what you are doing, how would he do it? I need you to think about that. So every time you look at yourself less than God, you shortchange the power of God within you to transform the world. So tell your neighbor, say from today, behave like God. Yeah. So do only what God will do. And that's the greatest brand. I'm supposed to talk about building your brand. Your brand is God's brand. In the beginning, God what? Come on, talk to me. In the beginning, God what? So God was known as a creator by the first thing he did. So what's the first action? You are talked about when she wakes up, or what she does, before she brushes her teeth. And it's reflected in an interview. Nobody saw that she didn't brush her teeth before she was reading. But it showed up in an interview. So as you begin every day, you have a brand. It's just that you guys don't know it. You're not intentional about it. And then the misconception of all the razzmatazz around what a brand is has kept many of us more clueless than we should. So a brand is not all those logos and all those colors. No. A brand actually is first experience before it is seen. So a brand is your experiential identity. It's not the design you put on your, you can have a design that people used to mark who to dodge. True or true? If your club is, if those who love football, if your club is under the table, will you wear their jersey and be prouding? Certainly not. You can wear it at home. But when you enter a crowd, there's a place you will wear your t-shirt. And you will say, God, who sent me? While she was teaching, she talked about something I reframed, and it's about building relationships. When she was talking about young people not learning how to honor. The truth is, if God needed only you to succeed, he would not have created us. Yeah. You're not an island. There's a reason why when God was creating man, he says, let us make man. He didn't say, I will make man. Because he created man in the concept of community. The Godhead created man, not for man to exist as a single entity, but a fullness. So which man here, which of us is 100% God, the entirety, the absoluteness of God? Which human being? Which human being? None, right? So it shows that each and every one of us, we are unique expressions of God, right? So do you know when the beauty of God is seen? Is when, and this is part of my don't think I'm giving one special note. I'll share it. It's something different from what I'm saying. But this is it. The beauty of God is seen, the beauty of your brand is seen when there is interconnectivity, and that's what we call collaboration. My ability to work with you, not because I like you, but because when I work with you, the beauty of God is seen. The essence of my brand is felt. DSTV, that is standing out there, is resting on other smaller components. Without them, DSTV, does DSTV manufacture the thing themselves? No. They're not the one manufacturing the iron and all those things that they give that we buy, are they? We buy computer. Most times this computer is only the name they have. Oh, you guys don't know. You are buying Samsung. Or I heard Samsung makes almost all the screen for all the different phones. Yeah. So every phone you buy is Samsung extension. So if somebody's laughing that you are using itel, tell them it's Samsung's itel. So collaboration. So the beauty of God and everything that we exude is seen when we connect. That's one way to see. So you want to build a strong brand, and young people, it's interesting. It's good you learn that. Learn to leverage. There's a place I entered that if I wrote proposal, I may not have entered. Guess what? It's association that got me there. I was prouding about it last year that the wife of the governor of Lagos State invited me and flew me to Lagos to teach. I was yes. People were yes. People like say, teacher, you don't blow. Now you see, meme. Now I tell them, say there's one guy. And just imagine if I was laughing at see meme, say you are big for nothing. I would have been living in nothing, though. You guys don't know. You don't know. You don't know. If you don't know, you better learn about it, too. Don't forget about it. So, build relationships and learn. Don't be in a hurry to blow. If not, you will explode. Yuan was teaching, and she said something, and she was talking about use. So, okay, because I really couldn't go into all this because of the time. And she was talking about use. And it struck me that the only way to stay relevant is to be of use. The only way your brand can stay relevant is for people to see the use. Why do you have a phone? Why do you have a phone? Because it's useful. You guys are not talking to me. Why are you sitting on a chair? It's useful to rest. So if you don't want people to use you, you are useless. So it's not an insult. It's just a definition of your current state. Yeah. So please, he's a user. It's because you are useful. And this would they like to use? Would they use anything that is useless? So sometimes the mindset we have towards things abuses our purpose, abuses our brand more than what other people are saying. As far as I'm concerned, you can't abuse me. You cannot, there's nothing you can use. You cannot abuse me because I'm so useful. And I can't complain that they are using me because my God created me to be used. Because people use things that have value. Are you talking to, am I talking? So look at your neighbor and say, are you useful or useless? Oh, you need to answer the person. Answer the person. Then tell the person, say first, allow God use you. Then tell the person, allow me use you. Oh yeah, see the cameraman. Are they useful or useless? Yeah, if not because of them, you won't be saying how handsome I am. I know I'm handsome. I know you guys didn't tell me. They didn't put in my profile. Please allow yourself to be what? To be used. Allow them use you. Then also when she was talking, she talked about something she didn't emphasize, and I thought to just pick out on that. And I want to ask you this question: what do you invest or waste your time doing? Many of us here, hey, these guys, please, I'm not coming at you, but many of you here, the hours you used to watch Netflix, if you can convert them to study one course, you'll be a superstar. Yeah. Some of you know all the latest movies that just came out. How to Kill a Monkey. Isn't that the latest one? I don't know. I hear people talking about all those things. Sometimes when I look at all those things, you know what I imagine? Say, I'll just sit down, they look person when they don't pay. No, I'm cheap. Do I get entertained? Yes, I get entertained. But, I sit down and I'm asking myself, so I will just sit here for how many hours? This is me. Look, don't just do copy and paste, though. You need to understand certain things. So I will just sit down. And the movie usually is like 1 hour, 2 hours. So in 24 hours, I will dedicate 2 hours. And if I go to cinema, how much is tickets now? All of you are doing like you don't go to cinema. Oh yeah, the last one the boy took you to cinema, how much did he pay? 7K. And then he will buy popcorn. Abi? And maybe you took boats to go. So if we calculate, how much have we spent so far? Like almost 15K. So you took your 15K that you have not saved to go and watch somebody that they are paid. And then you come back and say, God, help me. God is crying to you to please help him too. Help him by being of use to yourself. Sometimes, I'm serious. Take the time you have right now. Invest it, and it's something I think Isimeme talked about. Invest it in learning. I didn't get to where... See, this concept of some people are more blessed than others. It's a lie. Is God a partial God? No. Steve Hawkins on the chair. You know Steve Hawkins? You guys, he's late now, right? Steve Hawkins. Was his brain not one of the most intelligent brain? Oh, you guys don't know Steve Hawkins? Google him. He was like, hey, so the chair, people look at this one destiny don't bend. But his destiny has been worth more than probably all of us joined together. Yeah. And it's not because I'm trying to be funny. No. It's because many of us don't invest our time rightly. What are the conversations we have? What are the associations? I like to engage. It's good to see you there, Jem Morals. I saw 3 of you. Bad guys. Man, I love you guys, man. When he was talking about the Nigerian net, I just started laughing. I think that was where we really met, right? Yeah. And it's been all these years. And these guys have been on an exciting path. All my friends, my senior in school, Osagato, And all my friends are people who are doing something. I cannot afford to associate with people who are useless. I can't afford to associate with people who are not doing anything. I put myself sometimes when I go to a CMM's office, I just see what she's doing. I say, hey, will they try to do something? This girl just they take off. They go. Why? What am I saying? I have invested myself, and this is one way to build your brand. It's also called brand association. I've invested my time to also learn from people, I think she said it, who have gone ahead. And see, age does not equate wisdom. Neither does age equate income. There are some very old broke people and old foolish people. Please don't be one of them. There are some people who will come with wisdom. And remember, if we all are expressions of God and there's no junior Holy Spirit, that means God can reveal himself in somebody younger. So kill your pride. Go and sit and learn. And ensure that by the time you count the first 5 persons that come to your mind, none of them is outside gisting about Quam 1, Quam 2 first. Yes, because while you are gisting about Quam 1, Quam 2, guess what? There are people who are being paid to even broadcast it. Are you guys thinking? No. Are you thinking? So, ensure you are building the right relationships. And finally, I now have many things to say. And finally, please, note this. You are coming at the end of the revision. Finally, ensure that you remember the... I have a teaching I wish I could do. You know what's the characteristics of living things? What's it called? Mr. What? Mr. They are increasing it to Ninja D. And there's one that is Mrs. Green. There are different things. What is the G in Mr. Ninja? That means all living things what? That person didn't go, he skipped class. What did you say? All living things what? Grow. So if you're not growing, you are dying. I need to think every day before you go to bed. Ask yourself, am I sleeping better than I woke up? Have I consumed the right content? Let me skip that. Let me not say that. But have I consumed the right content? But let me say part of it. You see why some of us are struggling? Yeah. It's because we are consuming things that burden us down. Some information. Some of you just wake up and the first place you go is, no, not even Facebook. If you go to Facebook, it's good. But when you go to Facebook, you are going to Instablog. Oh, yes. Do you know Instablog is making money from posting all the things they post? You guys don't know. Okay, let me tell you. They get paid and they are making millions from all the rubbish you are reading. And many of you are investing your time in that. You just wake up, go online. Oh, what's the next thing that's trending? You go there. And then no matter how you read it, you will never trend. Yeah. Your dreams may come to an end. I'm just trying to blend rap, put some, But yeah, that's it. You just invest your time consuming. You are not growing. We can't talk about brand, but if people should experience who you are, I said your brand is an experiential identity, then you need to be something people have to experience. So all of you have met, some of you are meeting Isimmeme, my sister, for the first time today. True or true? Come on, talk to me. True or true? What is your thought about her? Just say something about her. Don't try to impress her, but just say anything. Any person who says, yeah. Audacious. Audacious, courageous. We can put rap to it. Yeah. Okay. Now, any person want to say anything about Isimmeme again? Anything that you saw? If they say describe her, how would you describe her? Confident. As in, do any. Okay, let's move to Yua. Who wants to say something about Yua? I know. Intelligent. MHP, PHP, SSP, S. This is my name next time. Put A, B, C, D, F, G, H, Q. Okay, yes. She's ambitious. Good. Okay, and one more. One more. All of us listen to her. Thank you. Oh, she's eloquent. Beautiful. Yes. Now, those of you who listen to Pastor Mike, oh yeah, give me. Eloquent. Yeah. Talk to me. Talk to me now, Pastor Mike. He believes in service. Now, do you know if you ask these people to describe themselves, they may never describe themselves with all these things you said. Yeah. They will not come and say, I'm an audacious, confident. They will not say that. They will never describe, but this is your perception about them, which is attaching or attracting you to them. And that is simply what branding is. Creating, and this rests on your values, so it's not just a 1 or 5 minutes conversation. So the question is first, what are my core values? Because the truth is, and your core values are resting on your beliefs. What are your core values? And your beliefs form your core values. Your core values now inform your behavior. Your behavior creates experiences that make people define you the way they define you. So somebody comes and say, munch it. I like this. It's confusing me. How will you put, I like food and you're putting food when I'm talking. So, okay, I didn't add myself. If someone says you should describe me, how will you describe me? Funny. If you see comedy show and they put my picture, run, no. Run. I've been given microphone to make joke. I got there, my mind was blank. I couldn't say, how these people say they do them? Some people say they are stand-up comedian. Me, I'm a sit-down comedian. Sorry? You can relate. Okay, great. So you can call funny. I'm only funny in small space. Like I said, don't put me out there. So people have different ways they can describe me, but I would never describe myself as funny. So we are always creating experience. So don't think about when they give me one logo and my color is black and they do all those things. My brand. No. Create experience. One of the ways you can create experience. And listen to all they said. Let me hinge on the two I heard. Did you hear that Isimeme was talking about her story? When she was sharing her story? When you came, what was she sharing? Do you know you people will not remember all those many C's she talked, but you will never forget the story she told you. So, and I call that the jollof rice principle. Like I said, I really don't have time for that conversation. But it is the story. And remember, your story has to be authentic because people dance in the direction of authenticity. If I come here to form, and tomorrow you will just realize that all these things this guy they do, now jazz, guess what? The association will be fast. And then you will now become a marketer of what made you disassociate with me without me paying you. You see how brands die? So go back. What are my beliefs? What are my core beliefs? What are my values that have formed from those beliefs? And you need to be careful about your beliefs because most times our beliefs are formed on wrong information. Are you getting that? So you just build a belief because of what people have said, because of some cultural jagbanjastics. You just build a belief. And then your life is just forming in the wrong direction. You may be asking, I'm supposed to be talking about brand. These things are under the foundation of it. I just come and give you all this. I can do all those things and you will clap for me and I will go. But you will still be where you are. So, do you know that there was a time when you were native? You would either wear palm or shoe. There was a time. That is how to wear native. What do you wear? That's taboo. How can you wear canvas on native? But was she looking good? Come on, talk. Those of you that admire her, was she looking good? There was a time when Ankara is supposed to be tied as rapper. Ankara was made for rapper. Ankara was made for rapper. Okay. But look at Isimeme. Look at the way she came with Ankara. Trouser and she talked in. How was she looking? That's how also people have deceived you that if you shake with left hand, one thing, rubbish. If you have only left hand, which hand would you use to shake? I'm serious. You're not going to shake. Even our left, you have accidents. My daughter broke her right hand. It's only her left hand she's using now. So she should not shake you. Dead there now. So there are so many beliefs that has formed our values upside down. And that's why our brand, that's our experience, is not consistent. And then we struggle because today you are running for one belief, them say to another belief, them say, I'm looking for this them, as I always saying. I'm serious. Who knows what they are? Because they also talk to my wife. Them say. So, ladies and gentlemen, see, we need to just keep growing. Okay? Remember, if you're not growing, you are dying. So you can look good but be dying. You can dress expensive. There's somewhere in Proverbs, Pastor, if you help me, that talked about something, a golden knot on a swine's nose. Oh, who can remind that scripture? But let me tell you how I interpret it. That, who has found it? Bible students, find it. Yeah, please, mark that this thing. Beauty on empty head is foolishness on parade. So you need to ensure you grow. Beauty here is not beauty in just to girls. It's the fact that you may look so expensive, but you're a very foolish, expensive person. Yes. And read it out, 11:22. Okay. I'm not talking to women here. So women, please forgive me. Putting a beautiful, expensive ring in the nose of a pig. Like 30 billion gang. You now put it here. So guys, let's not look expensive on cheap brands. Let's grow. Yeah, let's grow. Let's learn. Let's grow. And one of the ways you show you are growing is that your brand can associate and collaborate with others, especially those who have gone before you. The truth is, the moment you feel threatened by another brand, the essence of your brand was dead on arrival at that point. God bless you.
I appreciate Dr. TJ, please. I appreciate him. Wow. Thank you all for coming one more time. And we're going to be closing very soon. But don't forget that we have something to munch from Munch It. And we have Showmax by DSTV in the house. You want decoder? We're going to be having a quick chat. Please, can I get 3 chairs on the stage quickly? At the beginning, I told you about A+ Club 360. A+ Club 360 is a community for creative people. You are welcome to become a member of A+ Club 360. Please put the slide on the screen. You can register to be a member of A+ Club. You can join our community online and be part of this conversation. By the way, this conversation continues. When I was speaking about our organization, I spoke about an event that we do monthly, which is called Mic Check. Mic Check for September, October, November. The publicity will be out after now, and you can join us online. We'll continue the conversation on talent acceleration, even as we proceed to the end of the year. Please, I want to welcome Reverend Osaji to the stage as we take some time to answer some questions and take some questions. I also want to bring back Pastor Mike Omoregbe. Please, can I have the second microphone? If you have questions, please, you can signal by, raise your hand by indicating that you have questions so that we can quickly take them. Sit down. Yes, sit down, please. I need the second microphone. Welcome, sirs. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Reverend Saji, quickly, we're discussing talent acceleration, how to turn your talent to treasures. You've been in the business of filmmaking and media for over 3 decades now. Can you say practically to someone in this room who has a dream, who has a desire, you understand, that is willing and praying to God for how they can convert that idea, that skill, into profitable use?
Praise the Lord. I know we are not in church anyway. Praise the Lord. Anyway, if you have a dream, if you have a talent, once you recognize your talent, all you need to add to it is just to train yourself. Look for those who are doing the same thing that you want to do. Follow them. Listen to them. Hear when they speak. Always listen. You will go far. If you have a dream, okay, let me put this out there. I love video work when I was growing up. Before, I wanted to always, whenever I watch TV, I wondered, how did they put these people inside here? Is it that they are, I couldn't imagine it until my senior brother talked to me about it, that, oh, these people, there's a camera, he explained the whole rudiment of you being on TV. I said, this is the kind of thing I want to do. And I've been dreaming to do that over time, right? Then, I think when I went to school, I finished school, I decided to, okay, actually, let me come back this way. Papa Idausa, always, because I just love anything that have to do with TV, I was always the one that is always calling upon to go and tune the antenna outside to make sure that the TV is clear. Then he knows that everything that has to do with electronics, I was there. So Mama bought me the first camera. Then Quiffy was getting mosed up. I used to be the one recording Quiffy program with Mama in it. From there, Bishop Feb came along. Do everybody know that Bishop Feb was an editor? Bishop Feb. He was an editor. He was the one that gave me the first computer system to edit. 1999. He brought the first computer system for me to start working with. I did not sleep. I was doing every small minute I do that. From there, I became who I am today. But when I graduated, I thought to myself, I said, everybody is doing media work and all that. And I said, what do I do with this now? I need to advance myself. I decided to go to Lagos to go and learn video production from ITPAN, Independent Broadcasters Association of Nigeria. From there, I decided to go ahead, get a diploma in filmmaking. From there, I went to do masters in digital media. Every year, before coronavirus, there's a seminar they do in Las Vegas. There's no one I have not attended since I heard about it. So I keep improving myself on my craft. Today, when I applied to lecture in BIU, I submitted the CV, I gave it to them and everything. I think the VC actually called me. He said, when he saw my profile, he said, when did you do your master? Is it online or you went there? I said, no, I went there to go and sit down to learn it. He was amazed because he had not seen anybody with such profile of media records. You know, from there, they gave me the job. I started with Benson Dausa, Mascon department. Then I look at some of my friends then. They all did video. There was some that was even better in editing than I am. But they cannot go to the university gate to say they want to go and lecture. You know how to edit. The paperwork is not there. I actually decided to go and certify myself in my craft. So if you have a talent, you need to certify yourself. Once you certify yourself, the sky is your limit.
Thank you very much. So if you have a gift, pursue a formal certification for it. That's the lesson. Pastor Mike, sir, I've always known you to be a compassionate person. I remember when I brought my wife to you that went to produce our first music video. You asked us what was our budget. We told you. You collected the money. but you spent like times 4 of that money on the same project. It was your car you used. Why am I going to? I've seen you impart people. The people I knew you with 20 years ago, yes, I still see you having that relationship. What drives you to wanting to always invest in people? What is, this is a selfless job. What drives you to becoming that kind of a person that wants to see other people grow?
Thank you very much. Well, first, I'm a believer, I'm a Christian, and I understand what God wants me to do. Then maybe there's the element of personality, who I am. You have to kill jealousy. You have to kill selfishness. And a large part of the things I learned today or got reminded about today is the issue of being confident about who you are. If you look at the story of Joseph, he had a dream. He told the people, we're in the field, and then all the sheep came and bowed down to me. The moon and the stars, and then all the other people got into trouble because they were jealous. But what they didn't realize is this. If their sheep bowed down to his own sheep, that's one aspect of human existence. One, agriculture. Whatever happened to the other aspects? So if any of those guys who saw the dream or who heard the dream had been bold enough to say, you had that dream, okay, well, I also have a dream. We're playing football, and I scored, you couldn't score. It will kill their jealousy. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. It will kill their jealousy. They'll realize that the progress you're making in your field doesn't stop me from making my progress in my field. They'll realize that, like TJ was saying, collaboration is the way to go because it has compounding impact. So you don't have to win alone and everybody will lose. Well, we can all win together, and then I will win and you will also win. So that kind of mentality, I've always had it. And it helps me, even as little as, and I try to act it out in my normal life, apart from people coming. I've always been around young people. I've always been around young people. Young people, I can't tell you the number of people I saw through university, through school, just like that. Of course, like some people here say, some will walk away and remember the bad things you did. But many will remember the good. You see him saying a lot of things. I don't know if you remember this guy that used to drum, Saimeri. In fact, I was shocked. I'm sure that's the first time I'm getting the size of that gift from somebody. I was just at home and he said, it's his birthday and he sent me $1,000. Okay, well, that's not very big, is it not? Until I converted it. One point, I sat down. I said, wow. But I remember, like he said, I showed him how to use the computer. He was a very good drummer in school, in church. Very good. Then he came around and he used to say he was the one that put my hands on the computer. I showed him how to. The moment he learned one small, he became so out of this world. So there's this satisfaction I get when people are able to get to their next level as a result of maybe what they got from me. And I try not to be jealous all my life. And so if I see you're going to make progress, I'm not going to, if I now give you this one now, you will now be better than, what's there? Even in my daily life, I hardly would, unless you are looking very stupid, I hardly would stop you from getting in when we're driving. What's my mentality? Well, if you drive past, the road will not cut, I will still pass. So go. But some people are not let her enter, not let her enter, not let her enter. Developing a mentality of, what's it called? A lack, I call it a lack mentality. A mentality of it will not be enough. Therefore, that's what causes all the traffic jams. Do you know that? That's what lack mentality, impatience, lack. If I enter now, so once you would allow the other person to go, you will keep moving, and that's how it's going to work. So that's the basic thing that drives me. I think I'm not a selfish person. I'm not a jealous person. That's it.
The reason I ask this question is because it's one of the key reasons why our sector is not being developed. A lot of us are gifted, we are talented, we have the resources, we have the time and the energy to invest into people. So most of us are insecure. We have too many insecure leaders in every sector. So you find opportunity, or you see somebody that needs the opportunity that you have, but you hoard it. What this informs us is that if you are here and you have an information, an idea to share, be free to share it. Don't be selfish. Please, do you have any questions? Do anybody have any questions? See me, man. Okay, pass the mic to. We'll take just 2 questions and we'll close. Okay. Thank you.
I just want to say, it's not really a question, just to add to what Pastor Mike said. I think it has to do with self-esteem. When you have very strong high self-esteem, it is about win-win for you. And that is the real attribute of real leadership. And I just want to say, well done, sir, for being intentional about who you have become and imparting on so many generations. I deliberately stayed back to finish this interview, and I did not take this for granted. And thank you to the organizer. And to our lecturer, I'm coming to take a course on that very soon. So you have a student today. And I want to say thank you for everything. I'm so happy that I came. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Reverend Shalom Ga, please pass the mic to Reverend Shalom.
Thank you, sir. I want to say thank you to all the speakers who have spoken so far. I've been very, very, very enlightened and blessed by all the sessions so far. My question is this. So many of the speakers have spoken a lot about, partnership, engaging your giftings, learning, certification, and I want to ask this question in terms of the impact of your environment on your acceleration. The impact of your environment. Now, for a lot of people, there is the mindset that is greener on the other side. And I've had, personally for me, I've had many opportunities to take opportunities that are outside the shores of Nigeria. But for some reason, I am stubbornly passionate about the treasures and the resources that God has placed in Nigeria. And I believe that those resources can still be harnessed, right? But in terms of like your timeline of life, TJ was talking about, life, and the stages of life and all that. How do you engage the development of your giftings while taking into cognizance the effect of your environment around you, to make sure that you are able to deploy the best that you can actually deploy, right? Whether in this circle or in another country or, in another state or, depending on the kind of environment you find around yourself, how do you take advantage of the environment, knowing that you've been able to identify that this is my environment, this environment will give me this kind of result, but this is the kind of result I want. So how do you identify those environments and then take advantage of either moving to, different circles, different networks, different environments, so that the environment can have a much more multiplied effect in terms of your development and acceleration.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think each of us will respond to this. For me, I give a bit of my story and my testimony. I have not been restricted by geographical location for anything. I got involved in tech because of my friend, Emmanuel. Do you understand? It was pre-internet days. I already started getting information about how to navigate towards the success of my journey. Do you understand? I got involved with Pastor Michael Merekwe at Ogida Barracks. You know where Ogida Barracks is? It's not the most likely environment where you want to go to grow. But you see, the environment of his office was conducive, was nourishing. Everything I needed to grow in that environment, I had a place to go to inside Ogida Barracks in the early 2000s. You can imagine. You understand? So for me, it's a question of your mindset, how you factor and you adapt into any process you want to take to concerning your career path. Yes, there are some characteristics that may affect us because of government policies and all that. But you see, what I believe in is that I grew up from Auchi. I was born in Auchi. You understand? Before I left Auchi, I already made a name in music. So I can't believe for me that you can be restricted 100% because of where you are from or because of where you operate in. You can find the expressions, you can find the right grounds, even in the interior, that can help you grow.
All right, thank you very much. I think he said it all. I finished university around 1988. So I spent about 3 years or thereabout trying to leave the country because it was trending at that time. If you didn't leave the country at that time, you were not achieving anything. And so I served 1989 and I started preparing. I have to go. My elder brother was in Norway. My other one was in maybe Germany. The other one, and no, that's all I have to do. They got me visa. The visa was fake and all of that, all kinds of things. So I said, okay, let me settle down. Okay, and I've been here since. But in 2015, when I acted Oba Ovorame in Invasion 1897, I played the role of Oba Ovorame. I traveled out of the country. In the place of what I was doing and the assignments that I had, I found a way to travel out of the country. I was out for about a month and all of that. Came back several times. I still do that when I want to. What looked so much like I couldn't achieve at some point, at some other point, became what I could do easily. I mean, I can get up now and okay, I want to go somewhere. So what I tell people is this. I am not insisting on, with destiny or whatever. If you're a Christian and God is not asking you to live, you shouldn't live because of hunger. Because the only time I've ever seen an exodus of people out of a place is not for good. It's not a case, I don't know if you understand, I can't go into that. It's not a good sign. So the truth is, if God didn't say do that, you don't need to. Those who need you will come and meet you here. And whatever it is you need, like he said, if Gida those days, I didn't even know what I was doing. We're just doing stuff. I did a lot of editing for EBS and all of that. It's not even along the line of what I do. But I was just doing all those things. Perhaps God gave me that grace because he knew there was somebody like this who needed to come around and learn some things. All over the world right now, students that pass through my lecture and all of that, they have a unique experience, not just of academics, but of value. Value. I have somebody that is in the U.S. Army. I have this, not school students, lecture students, who, if I had not been around, where did I even set it up? Inside of Pasakbomba. I mean, the most unlikely of places that you can think about. Are you following? But it looked as if there were certain persons in that particular place whose destinies needed to be lit. And nobody would have been available to do it at that time if I did not yield myself to it. So it's important. It's not possible at all to say, I won't be able to achieve this because I didn't go to this kind of place. If you are human and people-centered, what you need to achieve that particular thing is actually here. No doubt about that. You can be. It's amazing. What's the name? Bishop Oyedepo was talking about what he's building in Nigeria and the kind of technology. And people are coming to study it. Like, you mean people can build this kind of a thing, this length of time? And how? How did they happen? It's all happening where? Nigeria. So people, I was watching the video, you see all kinds of white people, they're all coming around, they're like looking, they do it like this, they do it like this. That's it. So it's just for you to have focus, for you to have consistency. And you will find out that the God that gave you whatever he has given to you will cause all grace to abound to you. That's it.
All right. I think bros don't talk everything. Okay, I'll just use myself as an example. That's why what bro said is me. Is that when he was talking, I was saying he was talking about me. All right, I have my brothers and sisters. Most of all of them are abroad. You know. I got to one part. I was in the house. I think somebody came from one. I think he came from abroad anyway. He came to the house. He was here for one of the conferences that we have in the church. He just called me. He told me, "Say, young man, what do you do?" I say, then I was in the media world. I say, I do media for the church. He said, stay there, continue. Don't leave. Anything you want to achieve, in that place you would achieve it. At that time, that period, I was thinking of traveling out. I wanted to travel out. Because my brothers were out there. They were working. They can easily just work something out for me. I was just graduating. But meanwhile, I was just still working on the media thing. I was just relaxing myself. But sometimes it dawned on me now, what the guy said after like some few months or a year, I can't remember. It dawned on me now, this guy said, stay in this place. What are you doing? I said, I just decided to stay with media. For so long so far, since 2000, the year 2000, when I graduated from University of Benin, I've been doing media till now. I've not seen one day that I've regretted it. Because this is the part, when God gives you something to do, if you look at raw cash, money, I'm suffering, as Bro said that, don't let suffering because of money, everybody's moving here. Oh, this is the rainy place, now let's just move. Meanwhile, when God says stay here, He will profit you. I don't know, I think there's a part in the Bible that said, it says, for this earth is for sow and reaping. Anything you sow, you will reap. Anywhere you sow it, it will reap. I remember when Papa said, they told him that time, say, Daddy, move your headquarters to Lagos. Move your headquarters to Lagos. Lagos is the main thing. That is Archbishop here in the house. He said, move your headquarters to Lagos. Lagos is the main thing. Papa said, he told them that, I know, but here is where God has planted me. Heaven on earth, anywhere they are in the world, they will come and meet me in Benin. And after Papa died, I remember that there were nobody that was who is who, that was preaching, that Papa did not bring to Benin. They were all in Benin. Even people from Lagos come to consult him in Benin. So wherever you are, God will profit you there. It's just for you to open your eyes and continue to do whatever you want to do. I will quickly relate it to before we close. I know time is past. Relate it to the story of Joseph. Joseph was in the prison. He was in the low of low. Low of low. That day he reached. You still day house. You are still at home doing things. Joseph was in the low of low. When they say low of low, is there. But inside there, he was still doing what God has given him to profit with. He was inside there, he became who he is. Became the prime minister. So wherever you find yourself, do what God has told you to do. Do it well to the glory of God. And God has never failed. He will not fail because of you now. God bless you.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your patience. And God will bless you. Thank you very much. See you next year.